All right, guys, we're back with another anime and manga discussion. This is episode 14. You got myself, Jochik, Jagad, and Jasmine. And we're going to start off with Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
One Piece is on break.
That's true.
Yeah,
It sucks
One
for
Piece on
everyone,
break.
but
Yeah.
you know,
It's alright. we got through the week.
our podcast will be about 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
uh,
chapter was nice.
it was a good chapter overall, I feel
Yeah.
like. But Asa's uniform, I feel like
Yeah.
that's an important point.
I
Yeah.
like that it set up a couple things actually in the chapter, like in terms of what she can use as her weapon.
I thought
Mhm.
what was interesting though about like her even asking to,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
asked yo, teach me
Yeah. How to use this.
how to turn something into a weapon.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then she turned her uniform into a weapon.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Which, by the way, the uniform is important
Yeah.
because
her mom
Her
gave
mom
it to
gave
her.
it,
Yeah.
exactly.
But this is like the first time you're seeing
Her
her emotional
yeah.
connection to something
Something,
and how strong it's actually making it. Because
Mhm.
like Yoru's whole plot with trying to turn Yoko into a
a
weapon, right?
weapon.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. So
Yeah. And speaking of how powerful the weapon was, it nearly killed the girl.
Bro, when
The Justice Devil.
when she like swung
Dude,
when she swung the sword,
she cut it up like
No.
those chef videos
yeah,
where they're just slicing and
sashimi,
dicing.
right?
They're just
Like,
going,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like it's chopped up so nicely, and
I
you just like
I genuinely thought that when she like swung, nothing happened, and then the next, how it's like the next panel she got cut,
Yeah.
like just diced.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's Denji.
Yeah.
With my
Oh, you
full-
thought so?
With my full chest.
Yeah,
bro.
no, I was
like, it's
Yo,
Denji.
and that's-
He's here. You know,
I guess that's
and then
it's crazy because like you know how Asa's character is how she's like clumsy and stuff.
yeah.
I guess you could say like her mom kind of accepts her like as she is, like she
Mhm.
understands that she's
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
So like in a way, like wouldn't her uniform be like her strongest weapon? Because like
Yeah.
she fumbles with it, but like regardless, like dices somebody up.
But
like, fucks
I could
them up.
also see her shoe being a strong weapon.
I mean,
From
I feel
her?
like
From-
anything from like her mother would just be strong
I
because
feel like
that was like the only person that completely understood.
Yeah,
That makes
true.
sense,
No,
right?
it's
and I feel like
true,
that's got to
true.
be her strongest weapon though.
No, because like remember-
Others could be like situational, sure,
Like,
but like
remember-
that's got to be like
'cause-
her first, like just the weapon that she goes to. I guess
Because like Yoko gave her a shoe, right? Or like they swapped shoes.
But she gave the shoe
Yeah.
back, I believe.
Okay, yeah. But I could see that also being like a strong weapon that she could like turn
It
into a
could,
strong
yeah,
weapon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna chuck my shoe at you.
No,
Like,
no.
yo, they do the brown thing where they have a chapel.
It's a strong thing, yeah.
Nice song. And the buddy's
Yeah.
dead. Like, that'd be
Dude,
crazy.
that'd be crazy.
If he does that, man,
Yeah,
like, you're sitting,
he's goated.
That's
He's
actually
goated.
crazy.
Yeah, 100%. But like the fact that it turned into a sword, because like
turned into like a big sword.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean she can choose what weapon it turns into, right?
I feel like
I
it was
think for now it's-
unintentional.
Yeah, I think it was unintentional. It's just kind of like where it went to.
Because
Yeah.
she says sword, right? Like she's like a uniform.
Yeah,
and
she
she's like,
does.
Sword,
Yeah, she does say
right? So she can do
Super-
like she could be like
Maybe things she's comfortable with. Turning
so
it
she
into.
could be like uniform and then gun,
Oh, yeah.
word. Yeah,
That makes
she
sense.
could.
right?
makes
Because she can continuously like. Does this mean
Turn it, like change into
yeah,
different
keep
things.
changing it like it's
But can
changeable.
she-
But also-
I don't know.
Also, can she turn the weapon back?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Right? Because then that changes like the way she has an arsenal and when she really wants to use
Mm-hmm.
certain things, and also
Yeah.
because like technically this uniform should be her strongest thing.
Right.
So and because she used it so soon, now it's like brings her back down a little bit. And then
Like
she
what's
can
her
be, like,
what's her upper ceiling?
yeah,
what you're saying,
essentially,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, going back to her clumsiness though, I could definitely see in the future when there's a standoff between Denji
Yeah.
and Asa.
Yeah.
That like obviously Denji's rolling her,
Yeah.
but her
Mhm.
clumsiness, she like
Somehow,
accidentally
like Rock Lee when he gets drunk.
yeah,
type of
she
thing.
like
Yeah.
accidentally
Yeah.
fucks him
Yeah.
up somehow.
Yeah,
I could definitely
Okay,
see that.
But also, do you guys think that like now that we got to see more, a little bit more of her character with like like how she loves her mom and stuff,
Yeah.
do you still think she's gonna fight Denji,
Yeah.
or do you think? Because I
you
kind
know
of
how
feel
you're-
like she's gonna slowly change by the time that she wants. Like she might be wanting to kill him like this whole time, and maybe she's not strong enough. And by the time she is strong enough, she's gonna change, and she's just gonna be like, nah. Like,
so you know
he's
how
all
you're
good.
saying like what can her upper ceiling be? We're gonna see that upper ceiling get like she's gonna reach that probably by the end of this fight. I feel like because she's already
Damn.
pretty attached to this friend,
Yeah.
and if she loses that friend in a more tragic scenario,
Yeah.
that's so much more emotion that's like held to
Yeah.
what that thing is, right?
Yeah,
And then if
100%.
Yoru then turns that into a weapon,
Mhm.
Yeah. And I see that, but it's like I'm comparing like
but then that also
growing up
that
with
also
like
goes
it's her mom versus somebody
True.
she met for like a week or something.
but that
Yeah,
attachment
yeah,
that she has
right.
to her has her
Yeah.
risking her life, right?
That's true.
But going into like how Denji fits into that scenario, it could still fit in the exact same way we've been saying
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
for so long, right?
I just kind of feel like Fujimoto's like, in a way, it's gonna be like a not like a plot twist, like something where like we won't be able to
See it coming?
Yeah, see it
Yeah.
coming
Yeah, yeah.
essentially. So
But I feel like everything he's done so far, granted, like there's not too much going on. It's just been
Yeah.
fights essentially.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Has been predictable in my
Yeah, yeah.
opinion. at
Exactly.
least.
and that's why I feel like he's gonna start going towards that unpredictableness because that's what part 1 had a lot.
It had a
It has that
it started to
unpredictableness.
Just
snowball
random.
really
Yeah,
fast
and-
and
yeah.
it became unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because like the thing is, like we get more of like Yoko's motivations,
Mhm.
and she's like, oh yeah, if I only target bullies, then like that means across the like Japan, people notice that I'm
Yeah.
only targeting
Like
them,
she's gonna start a
and she's
movement.
gonna start a movement to like stop bullying, which is like
Fair enough, right?
yeah. It's
And I
not.
think
See,
that's
about all
fair.
lives matter. The shit. Another like just another like attack on like the states, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, fuck.
no, but in terms of the way it's moving, I feel like it, like I just said, it's moving predictably, and I can still see it go in the way that Denji, because you have to make them enemies in some way, and
Yeah.
right now
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't see
That's true. That's
anything
true.
that can actually make them enemies other than what Yoru's feelings are towards the
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I
But you
definitely-
need more tension between Denji and Asa themselves
Yeah,
to actually become
enforce it.
enemies.
Yeah,
If that's the case, what we're going to, which makes the most sense,
Mhm.
since Yoru is the War Devil
yeah,
and he wants to kill
That's true.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
But at the ending, we
Oh, yeah.
saw a special someone, I guess,
okay.
just wants to save her little sister.
Yeah.
So they don't name drop her.
No, they
but
don't.
like, like looking at her eyes, it reminded me of like Makima's eyes.
Yeah.
So now I'm like kind of just like I don't think it's that other girl grown up.
Grown up? Like
No.
I don't think it's her,
yeah,
but I'm like
yeah.
it's like something's there where I'm just like I don't know where that could lead to because it's like I feel like maybe personality wise or character wise she's similar to Makima.
So
But we saw
Where she's
she
gonna
said
man-
one word, bro.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
literally
one
one
sentence.
word. Yeah,
She,
one
one
I
sentence.
know, like she pulled
So-
up and said one thing, but it's like just that initial reaction from just that.
I feel like the thing is though, like yeah, it could possibly be her, but at the same time, no.
I don't
It's
think
so
so. Yeah.
unlikely.
Yeah.
For one,
We already
it's a
did it.
little girl. Like we saw who Makima
Yeah, yeah.
became, right?
Yeah.
And to
Not
the time skip between part one to part two
It's
is
so
not.
short. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
too short for her
Yeah.
to be grown up.
That's true.
Because she says little sister, and Asa's about the same grade as Denji.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I meant it more like in her personality is more like Makima's. Because we know this girl's gonna grow up different. That girl that Chainsaw Man's
Yeah.
protecting
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like in the where where she's like that's my little sister. Like I don't know if that's like really her little sister. She's just kind of coming there to like help her, protect
But
her,
to be honest,
and then make
Makima
her like
wouldn't-
do her own shit. type of thing.
Makima doesn't really consider anybody family.
Yeah, but I'm
right?
saying in the
So she wouldn't even-
manipulative sense.
I guess, but even Makima never used like term family to like
Oh, yeah,
be manipulative, right?
Yeah,
She would give Denji just enough to say like, "Yo, I'm interested,"
Yeah.
but like not enough to actually say I'm interested. There's
That's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
interest
That's
there,
true.
yeah,
right? But
I think
what I
yeah, go
what
ahead.
I kind of noticed was like her earrings kind of look like the ripcord.
Oh yeah. I know it's that too. Yeah.
So what I
So
thought
that's
was
something
like
there.
she was just a really big fan of Chainsaw Man.
Of Chainsaw Man? Okay.
And she had like the earrings.
That's the only thing that
But
really
do people
like,
okay? Do
stuck out
fans
to me.
do fans see that ripcord though?
Yeah, it's there.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
When he goes shirtless, it's there.
Yeah.
When you're no, but when he's like in his car, like Chainsaw Man form and shit, and he's just doing his thing.
Is it
Well, he
just
has
dangling?
to pull it, right?
Yeah, but he pulls it and he's in Chainsaw Man, so it's not there anymore.
I think it's still there.
No, it's there.
Yeah, because remember
they
he
rev
can,
it
he
again.
can continue. He can constantly
continuously
rev it.
rev it,
remember?
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like,
No, because
So that's
to me,
yeah,
it felt more
yeah,
like
yeah.
she's on the same level of Chainsaw Man, where maybe like Not like
It's like a
she's gonna
similar-
pull it,
it's
but it's to show.
she's a lawnmower.
Yeah, like, I
She's a
don't know.
chainsaw
I'm
woman?
a fucking dog,
Like,
bro.
what?
No, like, but it was
No,
just,
it's a lawnmower.
Lawnmower?
it was to kind of like expand it a little bit more, like start like like world building wise or whatever.
No,
Like,
because I was thinking she was like, because she said little sister, right?
yeah.
So what devil would be related to the war
The
devil?
War Devil.
So I was thinking the
Mm.
violence.
Violence.
Because
Violence
violence
devil? Yeah.
leads to war, and those things can kind of go hand in hand, right?
I guess you could.
But
You
violence
could
is
even
like
say,
a overall
Yeah, that's a
overarching, like that's a huge.
grand-
you could say like
Yeah,
hate.
But I guess you could
as
also
well.
you could also just say that like war was also pretty grand.
Yeah. So
sort of-
Yeah.
if it's little sister, then this has to be even grander, and
Yeah,
violence is the
bigger
only
than
thing that I
war.
can think of that, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's,
maybe it is like a whole what do you call it? It's just like a she says one thing but actually doesn't actually mean what she said.
yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
okay.
think too. That's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see it more as her being manipulative,
Mm-hmm.
but I can also see it like her actually saying the reason why she's saying little sister is because like I guess like the war devil was like a derivative of her.
Yeah. So none of us
Exactly.
think that she's like a regular human just saying, "Oh, you little sister."
Well, to be
The way
honest-
she pulled up to
Yeah.
save her
No, I
and
agree.
everything, it was just
But-
like
yeah.
I wouldn't also be surprised if because she's is like the big sister,
Mm-hmm.
the earrings kind of make sense too because they're
Yeah.
such big fans of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And maybe like they
But then-
analyze Chainsaw Man's fighting
So then-
style
Mhm.
because like you know how fans are, like you're
That's
gonna
true.
analyze, right?
That's
if there's
true.
any footage available, you
Yeah,
analyze it.
that's true.
Maybe they see that like he revs his engine.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Mhm.
Justice Devil has something similar to like have
So
that
then-
revitalization,
That's true.
or maybe she just literally gave her little sister blood.
so. Then one thing is
Yeah.
kind of like
yeah.
if she's a big fan of Chainsaw Man, if she's gonna she's gonna push Asa into this way where it's gonna be away from that thing that we're thinking.
Yeah.
So with her being a big fan of Chainsaw Man, I
Yeah.
see it kind of pushing away from that agenda of Asa fighting Chainsaw
Mhm.
Man.
Yeah.
Because then it's like
But why
she
though?
because that's her little sister and she came to help her and she's a fan of Chainsaw Man.
Mhm.
She's gonna be like, Chainsaw Man's a good guy, kind of converting her into a Chainsaw Man, like not
Dude,
Dude,
him.
I think you
You
guys
know-
might be reading too much into
Exactly,
it.
I know.
I think
I-
she literally just has the earrings because they're trendy.
Yeah,
That could be
I
true,
don't.
but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way I
but
saw
when
it,
you looked at it, it looked like a ripcord coiled
did,
up.
it did.
And then at the end, it had the pull cord.
it
to
could be a
it.
hanger. She'd be like the hanger.
Hanger devil. The ripcord devil.
Bro, you can't. What, I can't even say what I was about to say.
Crazy.
Oh, wow. So, anyways, Chainsaw Man Anime episode 3 released
Yeah.
on Tuesday. We have somebody here who
You didn't watch it? Wow, crazy. Crazy.
I lagged.
So
it was a good episode.
it was a great episode.
There was one thing that they changed, maybe not changed, but because it was in motion, it didn't I guess come off the same way.
Yeah.
The moment where Power and Denji are standing next to each other in the beginning of the episode,
Yeah.
and Makima sitting down, kind of like talking to them.
Bro,
'Cause-
that angle is
Oh, it
just
Mm.
bro,
Mm.
it's just Makima's ass.
You're lying.
They're
You're li-
they're not even in frame.
They're not in
even
frame.
in
They're
frame.
not in frame.
You just hear them talking and it's just her
It's
ass
just-
for like
The
a
fan
solid 30 seconds, bro.
Hell yeah,
And you're just
brother.
staring and you're like, wow.
That's the fan service people wanted. Man.
Hell yeah, bro.
yeah. Hell yeah.
The way,
Hell yeah.
the way people were on Twitter for like the better part of a year, just like if they don't animate her ass well,
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
No, it's just
they had to spend the 30
But-
seconds. Like okay,
so-
like the reviews were in. Like we gotta.
What I'm trying to say is the way it doesn't come off well is because in that manga, you see Power like trembling when she's pointing at Denji. Like Denji's the one that made me do it, right?
yeah.
Like she's scared.
She's
Yeah.
scared. Like she's terrified of Makima type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. In the
Manga, I do.
anime, it comes off more that she's just nervous. In
Yeah,
a way.
it
Like,
does.
the
It
only
does.
time where you see that she's kind of maybe scared of Makima is when her hand points up
Yeah.
and it focuses on her hand. But after that, it's just like I'm nervous again.
No, but she does look scared
Mm.
when Makima's like, stop talking.
But
And then she's like,
yes,
Okay.
but in the manga, it comes earlier
Wait,
when they're
wait,
just standing
yeah.
next to each other.
I mean, do we mention it because it's anime only? We
no,
don't
this is-
mention-
No,
no,
no, it's fine. We're
okay.
not talking about anything. Anyways,
That's all I wanted to bring up.
What I really liked about this episode, bro, the OST
I mean, it's been great since.
when Denji's talking to Power inside the house,
Mhm.
when like the Bat Devil takes her cat, and
Mhm.
she's like talking to him, she's like, "Oh, I realized how you felt.
How you
losing.
feel now? Yeah.
Yeah. But the OST there, heat, fucking
Like-
banger,
Like some Naruto senti music
banger.
type of thing.
It was so good. And the
I
thing
feel
is,
like the OST's just been a banger.
They've been good.
Ben
Yeah.
and like the Bat Devil, before he
Oh, this whole episode is about Bat Devil.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he goes to save the cat and everything.
Yeah,
I should watch
bro,
it. Should have watched it.
Anyways, the Bat Devil, when he's leaving the house, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we see it in the manga, but when he's leaving the house, he's like, yo, I smell them. They smell so good. And then it's just a shot of like humans in their daily life. And it's a shot of like girls walking, people smoking, just, you know.
Because he's like comparing like all this
just-
person smoking cigarettes,
like, just civilization.
They're dirty, so
But
I don't want
it just kind of, but it also shows how normal devils are in human society. Because they're just like acting as however they're acting. And he's like, oh, I want something tasty. Because he tried Denji. And he's like, yo, you taste like shit.
But he didn't know that Denji was a devil.
No, I know. And then he, like, when he goes to that area
Yeah.
and him and Denji start beefing,
Mm.
bro, the animation was
Crazy.
so
Was it like that?
clean.
Hand-drawn CGI that we're
No.
talking about.
No.
Well, it is.
A part
It is
It's like-
hand-drawn
but it looks
CGI,
nice.
but
No,
like it
this
looks
was
better.
clean.
Looks better. Okay, that's
Like,
good.
bro, when the
Because that was
Bat
already
Devil-
really good. So like,
It was hand-drawn. We
Yeah,
keep
I
calling
mean,
it hand-drawn.
I'm calling it
CGI.
hand-drawn CGI because it still has that look to it.
It was hand-drawn,
Bro,
guys.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Confirm
CGI,
that.
but-
It's not CGI, but the way it comes off and looks, it
It's
does seem
CGI.
slightly
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
But
I'm still
that's
kind
neither
of
here nor
baffled
there.
by how crazy they're going with the anime.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But I
full
feel like that
10 out
kinda-
of 10 in all aspects.
But I
of
feel
the
like that
thing.
comes with the fact that they're probably gonna go with seasons.
Of course. Of
And,
course.
And
Yeah.
the same
It's
thing's
probably
gonna
going
be
to be
with
2 seasons, though. I'd
No,
say.
but in that same sense, like you don't get this level of care to an anime
Yeah.
in
But-
all
but
all
when-
aspects.
But
is what I'm
okay,
saying.
but here, this is my point when I was talking to another friend like way earlier. This is the point that I brought up. It was already one of the best-selling mangas without an anime.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what's the
Like
main
they have
purpose?
the, like they
what's
have
the,
the funding.
What's the main? They have the funding.
Yeah.
What's the main purpose of an
It's
anime?
advertising.
Yeah.
It's advertising for the
exactly.
manga because that's
That's
their
true.
biggest source of income.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
merchandise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And anime does that.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hype it up, right? Like
Yeah.
you want it to have that Demon Slayer effect, that Jujutsu Kaisen effect, where it
Ascend,
comes and it just booms.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, you see that it's a scene of Pochita
Mhm.
when Denji's like, yo, I lost you and I couldn't find you.
Mhm.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and it's just him, just
yeah.
just like
Just
in
running?
the corner. No, right, it's
Oh.
like it's Denji running to
Yeah.
find him, and he goes to his little shack of a house that he
Yeah.
lives in, and then you see Pochita in the corner just crying.
Crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, the way Twitter just exploded over that one scene,
Yeah.
they're like, we need to protect him with our life.
Yo,
This
and that's-
must be protected no
Yeah,
matter
like
what.
I think like the fan reaction to Pochita is kind of like the way people react with like Chopper and like they just random cute
Baby
shit.
Yoda.
Just random cute
It's
shit.
equivalent of Baby Yoda, in my opinion.
Like random cute
anime
shit
version,
essentially.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
it's just crazy because Pochita's only in the first episode and then like little bits here and there, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
But
He's
like
just so cute.
you spend so little time
Yeah.
with it where people are already like they want a plushie and they're grabbing
Yeah.
merch and all this
Yeah,
already. So it's
But,
nuts.
You know, that's like the thing, right? When you're creating a manga, you usually create like one cute ass character just to like push merchandise sales or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But usually it's like a recurring like gimmickly character like who's like just always there in a way.
I mean, I guess I can.
Yeah.
see
You know what
that,
I'm saying? Like they're usually always there. This person's like a one and done like out kind of thing.
but Not really.
Not really, but kind of.
yeah,
Like you see flashbacks, right? So you can't
Yeah.
really say.
Like
that's
we just
true.
literally got a
That's true.
flashback
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
So like, anyways, but when the Bat Devil charges up his like wind attack
Mhm.
and it hits Denji, bro, that was crazy. The animation there,
It's
because
all beautiful.
because the way it hits Denji, you see him standing there resisting the wind,
Yeah.
and then it just overtakes him, and it's just so amazing to look at.
So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
Like
can't
does it
even say
fling him off his feet?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
Like
That's
he's like
cool.
standing, and then he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah. It's
I see.
it's so dope.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Big
you
time,
lagged.
bro.
You lagged.
Big time.
Yeah, and yo, the ending song, banger, bro.
Banger.
It's called Chainsaw Blood by
And-
Vander Ondi or
I want to
whatever,
confirm
but it's a
they
banger.
changed it again.
They changed it again.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
I got it.
It is, bro. So fire.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid.
Anywho, the My Hero
My Hero.
My
Hero Academia chapter 371
yeah.
dropped, and I mean, just off of the top, I'd like to say that This is what the last chapter should have been.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
This chapter,
exactly
what
it
we
should be.
got is what last
It-
chapter gave us
Nothing.
nothing
Nothing
other than
at
the
all.
fact that Spinner's angry.
Yeah, lost control.
That
and
was a
stuff.
filler chapter.
It was,
I swear. That
but
was
honestly,
such a
I feel
filler.
like it. Like you can't really hate on it for that. Like I know there's like manga where like every chapter is like a banger type of thing, but like, you know, you gotta like it's
What'd you
okay.
just
Yeah.
It's okay to have that one-off chapter to connect
yeah.
the stuff. Like every manga does that, right? So
That's
it's not
true.
it's not that big of a deal. I just feel like we've been hating on My Hero recently a little
Well,
bit.
no, it was just the last chapter was just terrible. We haven't, I guess, really been hating it other than the Bakugo situation.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And the last
and the
chapter.
Mirio shaking ass.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
you can't even or
Yeah,
say
no, that's
like yo
true,
we're
that's
being
true.
rude because he's shaking. What, dude? He's shaking his ass
For
No, that's
no
true.
reason.
for no reason.
Yeah.
He shook them cheeks. Though.
Yeah.
Just to get back to the chapter.
Yeah. To get back up to the
Um,
chapter.
We get more of tentacles.
Yeah, I didn't know his name.
Backstory.
Yeah, I didn't know his name, and then like
Shoji, I think.
Shoji. But hey, why is
Shoji,
this
yeah.
hero named Tentacool? Like,
yeah.
he just loves
'Cause
Pokemon.
No, 'cause
tentacles-
even-
No, but you know Tentacruel from
Yeah, yeah.
Pokemon? It
No,
just, that's what it
even
reminds me of.
last chapter or last podcast when you were like octopus guy.
Yeah.
Not once did I look at this guy and I'm like I felt like he was an octopus. Do you know
Just
what I
'cause of
mean?
his
Like
arms
no,
and
like no,
shit,
he felt more like
So-
a bird or like a humanoid creature.
So we get his backstory,
Yeah.
and essentially, he has a tragic backstory.
yeah.
Where basically wherever he was from. He
How
was
do you
shunned. He was abused in a sense. Like
How do
he
you
has
feel about it?
scars and stuff. Like
Bro, I feel like it was too little. Like, it was like a great turn. Like, it was
Yeah.
a good like darkness to add
Yeah.
to this very lighthearted manga.
yeah.
yeah.
But it's too little, too late.
I feel that. That's how I felt.
It should have
That's
been.
how I felt.
This should have been
I
something
think they should've-
addressed earlier on in the manga,
Yeah.
and then
I
like
believe that.
ramped up to like a climax.
How do you
now
Yeah.
or
mean? How do you
something.
mean? How do you mean?
Because okay, in the same way that the other characters in that same class got fleshed out, where you had their backstories like Ida and whoever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like there was those two characters specifically that they were showing in this chapter, like the guy who just talks to birds, like he's like,
Yeah.
and this guy Shoji.
Yeah.
Sure.
They were kind of like just two characters that they never actually fleshed out. Like they never
Yeah.
took the time.
They almost
to
got
flesh out.
shoehorned into this chapter.
They
like, into
they
this
they,
end arc.
they do kind of like
yeah.
they show their powers a little bit, like they're expanding on his powers and like his teamwork and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like and you never really felt like they were the main cast, right?
No, for sure.
And
for
now
sure.
at this point, you're kind of just now they're throwing in this tragic story
Because
where
you
you're
don't
like
care about them, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
they're throwing it in so late where like had they just thrown it in even like one arc earlier,
Yeah.
it would have been nicer.
Then you're going into this arc. You're like, yeah, this is that guy.
it could like
he
it could have
deserves
it
this
could
or
have been like
whatever.
Mm.
when Deku was on his like not revenge when he was away from
Vigilante.
the vigilante
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They could have done it around that time to show that there's progress happening on both sides, and like you know,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and like because that's already so like you have a character driven aspect of not
Mhm.
Denji, Deku doing it,
Yeah.
and then you have like him also like progressing like
But
those characters.
It was a great way
Right.
for who's the creator again?
Horikoshi. Horikoshi.
It was a great way for Horikoshi to like address like in like today's day and age where
Yeah.
like in the city you have people who are accepting of colored people,
Yeah,
but sometimes when you go to like
Countryside
or remote areas,
rural,
it's still
yeah.
not like even in
Yeah.
the States
There's
to
like
this
some
day.
sort of discrimination.
No, but
factor,
even to
yeah,
this day,
yeah.
like even
It helped in a way where it like establishes like there's one side looking at it where you can be like vengeful about it, and then
yeah.
being like, okay, like I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
hero that everyone like
yeah.
you know
Like-
like change for the generations after me type of thing.
Like even to this day,
You know what I
right?
mean?
In the
So-
States, there's towns that are sundown towns,
Hmm.
which essentially
oh, you
means
can't be outside.
if you're a person of color, you cannot be outside when sun is down.
Yeah. Curfew, baby.
Yeah, you know how crazy that is.
Yeah, that's kinda nuts.
That's
Yeah.
a
Especially like
yikes
nowadays, that's actually
situation.
like
But
crazy.
you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
crazy, and like this kind of touches on that. So like,
Yeah, I liked what it did for like the
mhm.
manga and stuff, but I feel like his backstory at least it would have been nicer to have it earlier.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I guess. To be honest, I didn't see too much of a problem, but like,
I didn't either, just because partly because
guess
the last chapter, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Last chapter was just if we're comparing.
Yeah.
But to get on a little bit of a lighter note,
yeah,
our boy Shiggy plays League of Legends.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that was just thrown in there to throw in there.
Yeah.
Like that was just
Yeah.
it felt so out of place in my opinion.
So yeah,
Like,
so we
That's what connected him to Spinner.
kind of had
is-
like a conversation in a group chat. I guess like nobody else chimed in, but
Yeah.
it was just like mainly one of our boys said like wanted confirmation if that's actually what
Like
just
facts.
happened.
Like, did
Yeah.
that really happen?
Yeah.
And then another one of our boys came in and said like it plays well with the character or something.
With
And-
Shigaraki. It kind of does.
But what, like, in like how methodical he is or something, or what?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
in like because what
I
okay,
didn't quite understand what he
I
meant.
guess
Yeah.
I think he means in the sense like League of Legends is a strategy game.
yeah, and the way he
and
strategized.
he's the head of the strategic
Yeah, so it's like
organization.
So it
of what's
kind of plays
happening.
into his character.
Like he's
to
like
be fair,
the way
he's not completely, but almost completely being controlled by All For One right
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
now. So that character
the
is
way
essentially
Not
gone
even-
right
the
now.
other thing is the way
yeah.
I saw it, like Shiggy's like he's been down like a dark path where he had no one.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just like how did he really have time to play these games when
Yeah.
he's already like
Yeah,
he's already
When
so
did he
young
leave?
he's already so
Yeah.
young himself.
Yeah.
And then like he's already like pushing this villain agenda. Like
So him and
when
Spinner,
did he have
like,
time
They
to-
became friends over League.
yeah, essentially,
Is
which
that
is
what happened?
like
Yeah.
I can understand. Like
So like Spinner's a child predator, bro.
Hey, yo.
I don't know how old he is either, but like
He looks like he's old.
yo, hey, stop judging him.
I guess I don't know.
He's
man.
already going through so much judgment.
Yeah, you're judging him.
Yeah.
Yo, look at this guy.
Crazy.
Everybody get on his ass.
Yo.
No, like, I can see what they mean by like it plays into his character strategically and stuff.
But
it's
I
just-
guess, but it's like very.
I just feel like why was it there?
loose.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Why was it there?
I feel
You know?
like this was more so shoehorned than the backstory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's
yeah.
so common to have a character have his light and then give his backstory in the same
exactly,
chapter,
and that's fine. Like that's
which
not.
is it's fine.
Yeah.
But this one was just like, yeah,
Why is it there? Like
Yeah.
you couldn't just
Yeah.
have one chapter away from this guy.
Yeah.
Like like why
Yeah,
did you have to
that's
just?
true.
He like threw him in there just because people would be like, oh yeah, like, he's back because like I don't know, maybe fan favorite or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
But-
speaking of All For One, though,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I did want
we
to.
have the sort of moment where he's talking to Spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally like that because they did mention that he was kind of out of control the last chapter,
Mhm.
but now that you're kind of seeing that like All For One's kind of pushing his own agenda through Spinner, and we
Yeah.
obviously we talked about it where like he's kind of controlling him or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
another section of his plan,
Yeah.
and I mean because like you saw Spinner, like he can't think for himself in a way, like he's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
he's like a berserk.
yeah.
What I thought, yeah. So what I thought was interesting though was, so we have Shoji who's trying to explain his side of everything, where
Yeah.
like he was, he was treated the same way,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but he was able to find like a way out of it. He was
Yeah,
able to
exactly.
find friends that like
Yeah.
accepted him for who he was and whatnot.
Mhm.
But then you have Spinner who's like, I don't care, or they had that one other guy. I forgot. I don't know if they have like ever name dropped that guy. He's on Spinner's side, but he's like instigating it even more.
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Don't
he's a
listen to him."
random dude.
Yeah, random.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Don't-
Where like he's like,
don't
oh,
listen to him, guys. Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
no, because
Yeah.
Spinner's like
Yeah.
Spinner's just saying like random words like okay, and he's like, yeah, he means okay
No,
because
it's
listen,
'cause-
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
like
No,
just
no,
spinning his
we-
shit into
we-
like something random.
we've
Like
seen-
what?
Isn't that the warp guy?
No,
Was that not him?
Warp
No,
guy's
it's
locked up.
locked
right now.
up. They're trying to break him
I
out.
thought
thought
they're
that
trying to do.
that was him. Okay,
no,
no.
no. There's
But-
some random dude. Just his
But-
powers. He just instigating.
He
His literally power. Talk shit.
Instigation.
Literally just talk shit. That's
No.
his power.
But I mean,
A professional instigator.
yeah.
because you could, but honestly, I like that he was in there because you could see that this guy's berserking and he just saying random shit. So how is he even getting a following?
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy's kind of like manipulating it and being like, yo, like this is what he meant, like this is what's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
So
seems
it's
so
like-
random. It's
It's
like,
It
so
does,
random.
it does,
If you're-
it does, yeah.
if you're any bit, well, I guess people aren't as rational as like we are, but because you do have those. I was gonna say like if you're rational,
Yeah.
you're hearing this guy speak and say something that you're like, okay, that's actually kind of true. It's kind of inspirational.
yeah.
And then you have Spinner just saying some random bullshit,
yeah.
and this guy's just like trying to like instigate it
Yeah.
even more. Like it's like,
But it's like the again, it comes back down to like the mob mentality, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's there and everyone's already doing it. You're like, yeah,
No.
fuck it, dude.
in my head, I realized that that's not true because we had like Donald Trump and the insurrection.
Yeah.
So like in my head, like
yeah.
that rationality just completely left my mind. there.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, that's not. What
That's
am I
not
even
it.
trying to say?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of like, I guess, ironic at the end that Spinner actually calls
Shoji.
Soji disgusting
Yeah. Which is like,
because they're both,
exactly.
Means.
What are you
means.
talking about?
They're-
But I think the way he's saying disgusting was more so in like his ideals and the way he's thinking about the situation. where he should be on his Spinner side.
Yeah, no,
I
but
didn't think he was calling him disgusting because of the way he looked.
that's
No,
what it seemed like
because-
to me because it's the way his
the
arm
panel
forms.
at the end, his
Yeah.
like his
His
arms
mask is
come
cut off
out and
and stuff,
everything,
yeah.
and his
Yeah.
arms are completely up.
And it like forms into one giant
Mm.
arm.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I believe at the end he even says like a line where like, "I'm sorry, but like this is just me," or something along
Yeah,
those
yeah,
lines. Like
yeah.
a line
Yeah.
comes out of him. So
But that's kind of
I feel like Horikoshi, right?
mhm.
He's always giving people big arms. Just any climactic fight scene,
yeah.
person just gets one
Make him
giant
jacked?
big arm. No, just one arm is big, and then it just fucking hits somebody. You know what I mean? It's like it happened with when
Like it's just-
Deku. Hold on,
I
it
guess
happens when
I-
Deku fights the muscle dude at the end
Yeah.
of that training arc.
Yeah.
Right? Happens when All For One fights All Might.
I
And
think
then all like
that's a s-
Shigaraki, same thing was kind of happening with him too.
I think that's like a superhero perspective.
Just one
thing.
big arm.
No, not that, but just like just getting stronger and like
No, but
You
I'm
know,
talking about
climb-
specifically
you know.
just the one big
yeah,
arm.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Weird shit.
But yeah, so like what I was trying to say is like he at the end of the chapter after he says disgusting, he says, "What can I say? That's just who I am."
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I think he was talking more about like his mental.
Mentality.
Yeah, because
But it can also be
coming from-
interpreted, I feel like, in the sense that it is
'Cause
like
if
a
it's-
physical.
okay, if it's interpreted as a physical thing, that's like such bad writing for Spinner as a
Yeah.
character.
But I feel like that
Yeah.
makes it
because he's like
But it just
his
makes him a
convictions
flaw.
are convictions are so trash.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But I
that's-
think at this
that's
point
the
he's not even
point.
right.
He's
now.
not himself.
Yeah.
But I feel like that also that's like the point is to make his convictions not as solid as like he feels like they should be. Because at the end of the day, Shoji is like 100% correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have bad in the world, but then you have good, right?
Mhm.
Find your
kinda-
place in that good, not the bad.
But it
Like shit happens in the past. Move on, buddy.
it plays into that thing where like if you're willing to
Holy.
There's two things. There's two things. it plays into that thing where if you're willing to start a war, your
Yeah.
convictions have to be strong enough. You can't be flimsy. Like it can't be like Beetle
Yeah,
situation.
but like all
Yeah,
for
yeah.
one's
Right, we can't-
convictions are solid. Doesn't
They
mean
are.
that all his followers'
no, but
convictions have
Spinner's,
to
but
be.
Spinner's been there since like day one, and like he's been wanting and like
Okay,
even when
so
they
can I
had that
ask you a
little
question?
thing from last chapter.
Mhm.
Can I ask you
Where
a
they're
question really
talking-
quickly before you
Yeah.
finish your point? Because there's gonna come a point where Shiggy's gonna have that point where his convictions
breaks-
are completely solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, does that make his character flawed, bad writing, or like what?
For him, it's okay, but it's like
Why is it okay for him and not Spinner?
because of Shigaraki's character, like you can tell that he's like troubled and stuff. Like he's
But you can say that about every character.
Yeah.
What's
No,
her
but
name?
what-
Toga,
Toga, the girl.
I mean,
the
Yeah.
girl, her.
You can,
could say the same
but
thing
it's
about
it's
her.
about how it's handled, right? Like with Spinner, he's supposed to be like this figurehead dude for the other whatever the
Yeah.
morphs are called, whatever
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
called. And
The
for
mutants,
for him
yeah.
to like have this whole uprising and thing, and like be a symbol for them and take over,
Yeah.
he can't be as
symbol. He's like a
Yeah.
figurahead. Like he's not even in his.
it is
own
no, it is a
mind,
figurehead, but I
Yeah.
think
You have that one guy instigating.
With
He's
hi-
basically the
Yeah.
brains right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
the other
that-
thing is with him saying disgusting. What are the odds that's just one all for
All
one
for one
talking?
saying.
And that makes
Could
and that's
be.
a whole yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
could be.
that's what it is.
But
I think that's I don't think it's Spinner saying it because from a physical aspect, like he's seen how he's been treated and he's seen
Mhm.
how other morphs, animal
Yeah.
morph guys have been treated. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it makes no sense for him to call him ugly when like they're all like in that same boat.
Out of
And that's
all
what
the,
I mean.
yeah.
And that's where I'm coming
Out of
from.
all the villains, Spinner seemed like the most like not messed up.
yeah,
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
he aligned
Exactly.
himself. Like the reason why he even came into the light was because of Stain.
Stain.
And
Yeah.
Stain's ideals.
Yeah.
And Stain's ideals were not like far fetched. They
yeah,
were
no,
like
they weren't.
plausible ideas that you're like, okay, this makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Right? So Spinner seemed out of the entire group, other than
that's true.
what was his name? Other than Twice,
Yeah.
he seemed like the one that was like the most
Yeah,
rational.
even from the beginning, like it seemed like he wasn't actually evil. It was just more so like
So
Yeah.
doesn't that kind of go with the fact that his character can have that moment and kind of go back on this? Like,
I'm saying in the perspective where like he can't be calling other guys like other people like him disgusting because that just doesn't make sense to me. Like that just
Yeah.
for his character and what they were just saying how he's a symbol and doing all this.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense for him to say it from a physical
But
aspect.
what you were saying, it makes sense that if he was like saying disgusting to the ideals,
yeah,
because he can't
exactly,
he can't accept them,
exactly.
and he's so far gone that he's like, I never actually thought of it that way, but I'm too far
Yeah.
gone. I need to continue this way.
Okay.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Okay,
I can
okay.
see that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it did seem as though he was saying it to his physical
Yeah.
appearance.
Because at the very next panel, it's them showing his physical appearance. So that's
Yeah.
just
But I
Yeah.
think,
It
but
could
maybe
be-
that's just like Horikoshi trying to like make you think one thing, and then he's gonna add a little bit to it next
Mhm.
chapter or whatever, and be like,
Is it My Pump Fake Academia?
Yeah,
they've been
man,
doing it.
They've
Yeah.
been doing
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Bakugo's still alive for some reason.
Hell yeah.
We don't even know. We don't even know actually.
No,
He
he's
hasn't.
alive.
He didn't stand up yet.
No, he's alive.
Yeah.
No, he's alive.
Okay.
I called him. I asked him. He said,
Oh,
yeah,
word?
he's alive.
Yeah.
You thought I was gonna kill him?
Uh-huh.
You guys are crazy.
Okay.
We had 2 chapters of
Gachiakuta.
Gachiakuta that dropped. We had
Yeah.
chapter 31 and 32.
Yeah.
So in chapter 31, we finally got introduced to the girl that is supposed to, I guess, give them information
Yeah.
on heaven.
Heaven. Yeah.
I like the way her character is. I like her.
She
Design.
talks in third person, right?
Yeah.
Or is she talking
Yeah,
about somebody
no,
else?
she
Her
talks-
name is Ammo,
She
right?
talks in
Yeah.
third person. Like, you can
Yeah.
tell, like, at least after when you get in chapter 32, that she's kind of like off tilt.
Yeah.
But like,
'cause
she's talking in
yeah.
third person.
But
Because I
essentially-
Her
thought the
character
same
design's
thing.
dope though.
Yeah.
It is, but we don't really see the full character design until 32.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In chapter 31, though, we see Engine get KO'd. So this
Yeah.
is a complete flash
Forward.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time we're seeing that in this manga. And
Yeah.
also Engine
He's a
being
beast.
of such a beast.
He's
yeah.
such a beast, and he's just
Yeah.
So when he gets KO'd, right? I don't know if you guys looked at the panel.
he's like foaming at his mouth.
Well,
right?
No,
but
yeah,
did
he's
you
like
look at his
puking and
stomach?
shit.
No, but did you look at his stomach?
No, I didn't.
It looked as if he had a staple
Mm.
in his stomach, like a giant staple of some sort.
I can.
Or maybe it could have been his belt that just looked
Yo.
in that way, maybe. But it looked as though it was like a giant
I mean,
staple.
I guess we're doing a 31-32 joint
Yeah.
discussion, right?
Yeah.
So I think because the way the end of 32 ended,
Mhm.
like,
It's a-
remember when
it's
I was saying
plausible,
her
yeah.
powers might be similar to Rudo's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's a staple, like, she can, do it in that
So
way.
in
Like, I don't know.
also
So-
in 30, you see the Vandals
Yeah,
Looking at
we do.
looking at a TV
Yeah,
and saying, "Oh, there's another one."
yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah.
it's like,
So we already
it's
know
building.
like it's building because in obviously the next chapter,
Yeah.
right? So what they're referencing is the series.
I assume that's what they're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So then in 32, we come back to, I guess, the time where we leave off,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Regular time, I guess we could call it.
like,
Yeah.
It's like
they
a
flash
flashback.
back.
Yeah.
And this girl, like, she's cool, but
For
we
most
thought
part.
that she was alright.
Yeah.
But she has this weird,
She's
like,
so cracked
immediate obsessive sort of nature towards, like,
Yeah.
she rated everybody
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And then Engine is like, bro, I'm not gonna tell you my type, like,
Yeah.
or we can like
I
exchange
can kind
information.
of like see where she's coming from with her spending that time in the Forbidden Zone by
Maybe
herself.
she's just isolated for so
She's been
long.
isolated. And she's
Mhm.
kind of like,
Yeah.
maybe she's used to people using her.
Yeah.
So when she kind of was like, "Yo, I just want to talk," and like, she came from that aspect. She wanted friends, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
felt like they were coming from a way they were just gonna use her. So she's kind of just like, "What the hell?" Like, screw
So
this.
her like
to be fair,
her
that's
place
just
of
like,
living,
yeah, go for it.
right? Like looks like a giant pillar of some
yeah,
sort.
yeah,
One is I think it's like a relic of when civilization used to actually be on the ground,
Mhm.
okay,
right? On some like far forth shit.
Yeah.
Right? Where like this is like something of the past
Yeah.
that just withstood the test of time.
Mhm.
And now
Okay.
she's just living in there.
that's cool.
Or I was thinking of like this is a reference to Bleach. So
Yeah.
in Bleach,
The
remember
canon.
they use the canon
That's what I was thinking.
to
too.
enter
That's
the-
what I was thinking.
enter like the Soul
Yeah,
Society.
yeah.
It's like some sort of canon
Yeah.
that you can use to enter
Yeah,
heaven.
because when I read it,
Yeah.
that's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they obviously just talked about how you're able to go up to heaven and back.
Exactly.
So that just made the
exactly.
most sense.
Yeah. But the thing is, but then you see later in the chapter, they're at the top of the little
Yeah,
canyon.
and it's like a
room.
hightout and
It's
shit.
like a room of
So it's
some
not
sort.
actually like,
Yeah.
that shit went out the window.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah,
you're
that's
just
true.
like, oh, that's cool too. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like basically what ended up happening, I guess, is Engine didn't give a crap about all the small talk and everything.
Mhm.
He just wants that information, right? He's like,
Yeah.
how can we get to heaven? And this sets her off.
Yeah.
And like at first she seemed normal.
Ish.
Like I guess for somebody
No,
who's living in the
When they first showed her, you could tell something was off.
well, but like
you
normal,
could tell something was
but like
off, but, like,
normalish for like somebody who's living in
Yeah.
like
Isolation.
isolation
Yeah.
essentially, right? And then she starts going crazy, and then we have Rudo, just like, what the fuck is happening? He looks at her boot.
Yeah.
It pans to his glove, and then her
Yeah.
boot next to it.
It's the
They
same-
have the
same
exact
design.
same logo.
Yeah.
So
It's-
we weren't far off
Yeah.
with what we were thinking she was.
Yeah.
We still could technically be right.
Like she could be his sister.
Exactly.
Like we don't know.
We don't actually know.
Yeah.
But we're not far off from what we were saying.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Her
So-
her feet could be the exact same as like Rudo's hands,
Rudo's,
like the
yeah.
whatever's going on.
It's like a series, right? That's what it was called, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and moving forward from there, you see members of the group, like with the big dude. He like pulls out his gun. right?
Yeah.
So to me, it seemed as though she was controlling him
Yeah.
to shoot Engine.
Yeah, and I think he's the reason why Engine was puking.
Yeah, because he couldn't
With,
like bring himself
yeah.
to hurt him.
Or just like
Yeah.
it was just one of those like sucker punch type of things. Like he didn't
Yeah.
expect it, and it just hit him, and he just
Yeah.
puking.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of rattled because like she has it on her feet, so does it matter where you wear it? But it's more so just like the fact that like it could be a hat next time.
So,
Same series thing. It could be a hat, and it's
Yeah.
because it's more of like a wearable and not an object. They're gonna have similar like
Feats.
type of powers in that way.
I think it's more of like Rudo's is his glove,
Yeah,
so his is an object thing.
like everything he grabs turns into a thing.
Exactly.
Hers is her feet.
No, hers I think is different. Hers is probably maybe her emotions become her jinky, and
But
her
how does that tie-
emotions
how does that tie
affect
into her-
people.
How does that tie into her boots though?
Yeah.
That's
the
just
fact that it's
but-
her boot.
So
It's kind. Is it like maybe it could also be like a thing where like if she steps on your shadow or something.
Could
Or, like,
be,
something
yeah,
related to,
could be,
like-
could be.
Yeah,
could be,
it needs to be
yeah.
something related to like the
Like
shoe,
why it's
the
on her
shoe
shoes?
thing. Yeah,
So
But it could be
What-
like it could literally just be she can touch your soul and it's the soles of your feet, like just some shit like that.
what I was thinking
no.
about.
I'm sorry, I don't see that. I don't
No,
see that.
you know what I
That's so
mean?
far fetched.
No, it is. It's yeah.
So
yeah.
if she is related to Rudo in any sense,
Mhm.
wouldn't it make sense that like she has the same markings like as Rudo
on her hands
on her feet?
or on her feet, yeah,
but
it could be.
we don't know the extent of those markings because that was
Yeah.
again that was just us like.
No, I
brainstorming.
know.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
like it's something that he says like his parents did to him. He
Yeah.
doesn't really say much of
Yeah.
what
Yeah, and honestly, the
that
way
actually is.
the
But the gloves are what gives him relief,
yeah
right?
yeah,
the
So,
way
like, To me, it's like, why is Rudo wearing gloves? Obviously, because it gives him relief to
yeah.
like the whatever's on his hand. Why
So
is
she's
she
on her feet?
On her feet,
Yeah.
because it's giving
with
relief to
her, I
her
see
feet.
like especially the way it seems like there's some trauma or something
hmm
behind her, so it kind of I could see it like definitely play into that.
Yeah, this because
Where-
the creator of Gachiakuta was the assistant to Fire Force,
yeah,
so I definitely see this going
into like a deeper
in like the pillar route
yeah. I can
where
see that.
there's like Rudo's one pillar, she's another
Yeah.
pillar, and we're gonna see more
Like
pillars
having-
appear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
I'm-
do you
I'm
think that's
down
gonna
with
be a
it.
family
I'm
tie
down
thing?
with it.
Is it gonna be family ties that lead?
or
like, is
it
that
doesn't
how
even
it
have-
works?
it doesn't even have to be
could
family
It could be
ties.
trauma. Like
Yeah.
trauma ties you together.
It's just different ways and like trauma like shapes them
Yeah.
and stuff like, and it could like, and I'm down with them to like go a little bit
Oh, yeah.
deeper and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
But I feel like it would be kind of cool if it was like a family ties thing, just because it makes it more exclusive to Rudo and makes him more I guess,
yeah.
important. I also don't want it to just become Fire Force
No, but okay,
Mhm.
so
because I feel like there's so much interest with like who Rudo's like
yeah.
parents are.
Oh yeah,
because-
100%.
But that's what I'm saying. Like with not with Fire Force aspect, but like the family aspect. If we're talking about the whole like your mom dad theory,
Right.
and then we have this being your sister, it's like why is it a family? Like just being it so central around family, it's kind of just like man, like what are the odds? Like
No, but like even if you look at the beginning of the series, right? They talk about how inanimate objects have a soul,
yeah,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think it has something. It's something deeper that plays
Yeah.
into that. It's like the soul of things, like the value
Yeah.
of things. So it's
I-
it's
like,
something to do with.
I
that
don't think
for
it'll
sure.
be like Fire Force because Fire Force had like those religious themes, and then
Mhm.
it was more philosophical.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like it's more grounded where it's like like it's appreciating like everyday things that you wouldn't
Mm.
that people kind of take for granted, and it's
Yeah.
just pushing that envelope further than like what you'd expect.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. At least.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like the
Yeah.
only reason I say the family thing is because of the like they highlighted it about Rudo's parents being murderers
Yeah.
and what they did to Rudo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then they also highlighted again in a recent chapter where his
Yeah.
hands were hurting,
Yeah.
Mm,
right?
yeah.
They're like, yo, just remember this. Like he still has this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if it's something exclusive to their family, though, you guys would you'd prefer that. Rather-
I think it's a trauma thing. Like in my
Yeah.
opinion, I think it's like people
like
who
the-
endure trauma as kids.
with the series. Like it works with the series.
Yeah. As a
Yeah.
whole, like it
Yeah.
could happen to anyone, not just Ruro's
Yeah.
family.
And I like that like idea more, just because it's not as like restrictive.
To just his family.
Yeah, because especially
Yeah.
when you're thinking
But
about
then,
again,
but then
this
it
is
comes down
only
to
30 chapters deep.
But like,
right?
listen, it comes down to what do you consider family and what do you not consider family,
Yeah, true.
If
right?
you're saying it from that perspective,
Yeah,
it's like
because
a whole different thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I mean, you never know, right?
Mhm.
You know, we can always run that route. But
Yeah.
speaking of canons and Bleach Anime episode 3
3.
dropped on Monday.
Yep.
Another good episode. You watched this one?
I
right?
watched this one.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I can watch an episode or here or there. You know,
I couldn't get a Chainsaw Man episode in there, but
No, it was good. You see.
it honestly slipped my mind, man. And I feel bad. I'm actually rattled.
I know me and Jagar talked about this, but when I don't know his name, but you know when he goes into his fully released state,
yeah, the Quincy.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
he's just like
It's just energy, like
it's
blue
just
energy.
Yeah.
In terms of like the manga, we thought it was gonna be like kind of like a hollow thing where it's like all white,
white wings.
and especially with the way that they're coming
Not
in,
pure
thinking,
energy.
I
Yeah.
thought of it more as pure energy.
really,
I thought
even
it was
the
gonna be like
manga?
white.
Yeah.
I
Just
thought
white
like
wings.
because they had like a halo. I thought the halo would be energy,
Mhm.
but then I thought like the way their bodies change, I thought that was gonna be straight like a full like kind of like holification type of vibe.
No, the reason
You
I
know?
thought that was just because of the way we've seen Uryu's powers have always been
Yeah.
energy based.
Yeah.
But
So then to me, when I was just like reading the manga and their Quincy's, I just envisioned like
But-
what I saw
Yeah.
in the anime previously.
they do make a point where like I talked to you about it, where Uryu's grandfather they've strayed so far from the way a Quincy used to be.
Yeah.
And Uryu's
Yeah.
grandpa's the only one that held it down, and that's
Yeah.
why Uryu was brought up the way he
Differently.
was.
Yeah.
But and they're tapping into shit that like they wouldn't really do. Like is that
But
and
Uryu
that's the
tapped
reason.
into that once.
No.
Yeah,
So that
once.
but
Yeah.
that not the same way though, because they're using swords now and like stealing bankais and stuff, where Uryu like wasn't doing that, and even that one thing that he had, which was like a blade, like an energy blade thing, that was never actually a sword. Like
It was just an arrow.
it was an arrow.
Yeah.
He was using
No,
it
but
as a
yeah.
makeshift sword, but it was always
They
meant
took
to be
that
an
technique,
arrow.
modified it, and essentially by their definition, made it better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and honestly, the main reason I saw it as like them being white is because Shinigamis are like coated in black, so it was
and
like,
Uryu's usually donning all white.
and they're wearing all
So it's
white.
like maybe
And
like
And, like,
powers have always been
energy based. That's
energy,
true.
like-
That's true.
But it also gave me they see themselves as like angels, where these guys are gods of death
Mhm,
or whatever. So it's
mhm.
like it's that parallel. So I just always thought there'd be like all white. You know what I'm
to be
saying?
fair, is white. His like what he's wearing is essentially all white.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
just
know.
that's just what we expected, because like
Yeah.
I guess in the manga, like you can't really tell that it's energy. It doesn't look like it's energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's the
true.
point that I'm gonna
Yeah.
get at. It doesn't look like it's
but
energy.
to be fair, like it'd be so much trouble for Kubo to go in and draw like
As
like,
energy?
rather than it like
Nah.
straight lines.
Yeah, but
or-
because
But
of that,
it's-
you think it's something solid.
But you can tell,
right?
yeah,
It
you
looks
can
as
tell. Like
though-
it's kind of, I guess like the closest thing I say is like maybe like Seven Deadly Sins, or like something where like you can tell like when they have the demon energy or something, you can tell it's not actually like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
something is
I
right.
feel like,
you can tell it's actually energy.
but in the manga, you're asking him to go in and like draw detailed squigglies for everything.
It makes
that's,
a
like
difference.
energy
I
based,
know.
but
I'm not asking to. I'm just saying it.
no,
it
but I know
changes the
I know.
perspective.
I'm just saying like that. I'm just saying.
yeah.
So we did actually.
I do like it more though that it's energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks a lot better. It
It's
looks
a
way
lot
better.
better.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
it just
Yeah.
makes sense in
Yeah.
my mind. It just made
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, we did. So the eulogy did get cut out. Hey, Byakuya's
Yeah,
eulogy.
full on,
completely
yeah.
cut out.
We were like, maybe I'll come back.
yeah,
Episode 3.
yeah, no,
They don't
not
even
at all.
care. Okay, so now I'm wondering, is it because obviously I talked about it before, where it's like he might have thought it was irrelevant to keep in,
Mhm.
but
I think he thought
do
it
you
was
also
relevant.
think it's because because he wants to flesh out other areas, he also has to cut out in different areas
Possible.
because he's still within that constraint of
makes
like.
sense.
Yeah.
I don't think they constrained him like that. They're like, yo, you have to finish
Because
it.
they even.
But
they,
in the way like the pacing of his story is told,
Mhm.
where he wants it to like stay like high stakes in the pacing, and he wants
Right.
it to stay the way it is.
Fast-paced and everything.
If he starts adding shit on, it's gonna lengthen the pace.
But see,
So it's kind of like cutting things out where it allows for it.
but I would much rather him cut out this wannabe Aizen.
yeah.
That whole conversation they had
Yeah.
right there, irrelevant. Cut that shit out. And like the other thing is too in
I
this
feel
chapter.
like part of that though, like sorry to cut
Go
you
ahead,
off,
go ahead, no worries.
but like the part of just having the fake eyes in there and like what he talks about,
Yeah.
is for because it's been so
Watchers
long
to be
that
like
some people have watched Bleach.
Yeah.
That like explanation that they get is like
Exactly.
pretty nice for
And
like,
that's, and that's what I was,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's what I was
That's
telling him
true.
too, because he had that explanation where we got that explanation at the beginning of Bleach where we didn't need it again,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but because of this gap and
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it came
So
out, it
gap,
makes
yeah.
sense to like
Yeah, yeah.
reestablish it.
for
No,
sure.
Yeah.
And
but-
also the other thing I was saying was like with the anime only watchers, like now you're kind of thinking like, is this really Aizen? Is it him? Is he coming back? Like, you know,
yeah. I mean, we don't know.
you don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
right.
don't even know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Kira in this chapter, in this episode, if you compare to what happens in like the chapters, he's actually like talking to the other lieutenants.
He has like a monologue.
I know.
or something,
He's
right?
no. He's not. It's not a monologue. He's talking to them and he's figuring out like, okay,
Oh yeah.
this is what happened here. This is what happened here. The only possible scenario for this is this.
And then like he's like, you're right, and then just murks him out, right? Or no?
No. And then they're like, okay, but then that's when all the pillars come up. And you're like, okay, he's the one that pieced it together. And he's like, of this person that's about to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And then obviously
Gets murked out.
you see him just like arm
Yeah.
everything gone. But they took that out.
Yeah.
They just
blitzed him.
Just blitz him.
Yeah.
And the thing is they blitz him
Mhm.
and then everyone else gets blitzed too, which is sick.
Yeah.
But then you see
the gore.
yeah, Gore was dope. But then you see the real quick that's not in the manga. We see the man's pull out his spirit gun. And he just shoots
the burning thing. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
just shoots him in the head and
yeah,
his head just
they
explodes.
just explode. Yeah, that
was
dude,
dope.
that was so sick.
That was
So-
clean. So
but
clean.
he's man, people are gonna be like on edge to see this guy.
Whoever this
Busby.
dude is. For anime onlys, we don't know. We'll find out.
Oh. It doesn't matter what his name is. It doesn't
does.
matter.
It does
Okay,
matter.
whatever.
It does matter.
Anyways.
Anywho.
But okay, so just going back to the Kira thing. I kind of like I always fucked with this character just before,
Yeah.
like with the Aizen arc and like,
Mhm.
his Wabasume thing, whatever it's called.
Wabiske, bro.
Wabiske, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I tried.
You could have just been like, yo, what's his name? And I would have been like, here you go.
You know, I always like this character, so it's kind of like having him piece that stuff together. I don't like that they took it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's true.
Because he's always been there.
That's
like
true.
since Society arc.
Yeah.
So like it kind of added a little bit more before he like dies. Right.
Mhm.
So it was nice
Yeah,
to have.
because
It was nice to have that, have him piece it together, and as he's piecing it together, he dies,
Yeah.
and you're just like, damn, like
That's very true.
Mhm. The one thing I wanted to touch on though was when Ion pulls up on the Quincy and Waco Mundo, and he's just stomping him out, and you're like, man, this guy got GG'd. He gets up and just fixes his neck.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yo,
that's it.
and that's so
like,
weird because you're
Crazy.
like if
Looks
you snap it, yeah, but if you snap his neck, like how like they gotta be doing some type of like you know, like the way they're always saying like Germans do like experiments and shit, like
They've enhanced themselves.
yeah, because like there's you broke his
If you're
neck, he's
human,
not
Because he's
living,
human.
bro.
Because Quincy's are humans.
Humans,
right?
yeah.
So that kind of makes no sense. Like why he was just
But-
like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Maybe they tried some. I don't know. Mix.
Well, we don't know how
but,
Reishi like works. with her
Exactly,
stuff,
but I was
right?
also thinking like the
Like, he
the
can just
release
fix it.
that release form that he used kind of makes him into a monster. No, like in a
Yeah.
way.
That was before he got into his release though. That was like
Was it?
Yeah,
No.
he hadn't even gone into his release
When
yet.
Ion pulls up, he was in his release.
No.
No,
He
because
gets
Ion.
stomped,
Yeah, he mixed out Ion.
and then he goes into his
sure,
release,
sure.
and then
Yeah.
because Ion's made a Reishi, he absorbs
Everything,
Ion,
yeah.
and then he becomes even more of a beast.
Yeah. And that's that's the
Okay.
other difference too. The eyes that show up on his like wings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We thought like that was just his form, but that's because he took in Ion,
Yeah.
and it's resembling him
Yeah.
Mm.
in the same way like when they're like trying to steal
Yeah.
Bankais, I guess.
So
or
theoretically,
whatever.
he would be able to fire off a Cero.
yeah
Theoretically,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he absorbs.
But that's just so,
Ion.
like
Yeah.
it just shows how busted like Quincy's
Yeah.
can actually get,
And
because they're already absorbing Reishi from everything
Yeah.
too. It's just they're cracked out.
Mhm.
then Ichigo pulls up.
Yeah.
With his
Always
Bankai.
nice.
Always
With
nice.
his Bankai.
How are you guys liking his new blade? I
I
like the OG.
I
like
really
the OG.
hope
I
he
I always
holifies.
like pre-time
Yeah.
skip.
Yeah.
Bankai look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
just
like
there's
that.
just
It's
something
so clean.
about it that's
It's just
so
a clean,
nice,
clean black blade.
Yeah.
Just,
I really hope he holifies though
Yeah.
against this dude because they're in Waco Mundo. You know,
yeah, that's true.
it'd be nice.
dude, when the invasion started for Soul Society, chills, bro.
Yeah.
I actually caught
The
chills.
music was insane.
Yeah. No,
Dude.
because
and then you had Kurotsuchi kind of be like talking to Yamamoto like,
Oh,
yo,
it's your
I
fault.
was trying to plan
Yeah.
this. Y'all fuck my shit
Yeah.
over.
Like, I've been warning you for
Yeah.
so long that this was a
Yeah.
possibility.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
You're...
And I was just like, this guy, man, like,
Yeah.
you're so mean. Like,
Just kicking him while he's down.
yeah,
Right?
like he just lost his right hand, dude. Like,
That was kind of funny.
fuck, man.
Yeah.
No, when the
I mean-
invasion starts and Yawatch is like above the Soul
Oh.
Society looking down,
Yeah.
it's like like that pain moment.
Yeah.
He literally mentioned
I
that
literally
as they're
said
watching
that,
it. He was
yeah.
just like pain moment.
I was like, bro, this world
Yeah.
shall know pain.
Dude,
Yeah.
because like we've read the manga,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just like waiting for this invasion to happen.
Oh,
Yeah, we're waiting for shit to go down.
Because
Of course.
it's gonna
Of
go
course.
crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
And dude,
You guys
yeah,
not even ready.
you're not ready, bro.
Yeah.
We're not even ready.
Yeah.
I'm not even ready.
We're barely.
I'm still catching chills and I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Great episode.
Black Clover chapter drop.
Damn.
342?
Ooh, Yeah.
Damn.
I like this chapter.
I like
quite a
this
bit.
chapter a lot too.
It was a
bro.
good chapter.
We
It
get
was-
into Yami's backstory, especially leaving off. I know that there was a break, so I'll just summarize what happened last week.
Yeah.
Yami killed his clan.
Essentially, that's where we ended
That's
up.
what
That's
what
That's what
Ichika's
Ichika
trying
thinks.
to tell
Yeah.
Asta.
And then you,
And then we
get the
start to get
backstory.
into Yami's backstory now.
and also it's not even just his backstory. Like she's kind of touching up on their continent or whatever, and talking about like other
Yeah.
things.
So
Kind of just fleshing out the world a
That's
little bit
what I
more.
want. That's what I
remember
want to
remember
touch
when we were talking about is it darkness
or is it the sea?
Yeah.
It's both.
It's
Yeah.
the sea. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's yeah,
But
that's
it's
actually
both
crazy.
essentially.
Yeah, and
because
It's just
yeah.
covered around it. Like,
yeah. So
No.
when you see the continent, it's just like this. It's
Darkness.
the land, the sea around it, but then this
A
one
portion of it
section
is
of the
darkness.
sea is
Yo,
just darkness.
And then
Yeah.
because like I guess he's like a fishing and like a fisherman type
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah,
Like there's got to be like a reason why. Like he's in the darkness and sea, and he's okay being in there.
well, it's a Yami clan, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So
they work
they're
with darkness.
so just to clarify, right? The Yami clan lives in that province that is
Yeah.
by the sea,
Yeah.
which is why they can use darkness. Correct?
They're said to be keepers of it. No.
Yeah.
In
And
a way.
because the thing is, what caused that darkness was, which I thought was really dope, was a five-headed
Dragon.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like this holy thing comes down and
Yeah.
beats it or whatnot.
Yeah, like
I
defeated
don't
this
even know.
dragon.
They
Yeah.
don't really like touch on
Touch
It's like
on
a
it too
legend,
much. It's like a
essentially.
legend.
It's
But
legend.
I definitely think moving forward, that dragon's still there.
and he's gonna pull up.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull up with
yeah.
a dragon.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
have Asta pull up riding the 5-headed dragon,
Yeah.
like Blackluster Soldier on,
On top- yeah.
on top of Blue Eyes
100%.
Ultimate Dragon.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. That'd be wild. That'd
Yeah.
be fucking wild.
Blue Eyes
bro.
Burst Stream, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
Jeez.
that's a shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, because
Yeah.
of the 5-headed dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Straight up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Because it usually in like, Japanese mythology,
Yeah.
dragons live in the ocean, right? Or they live in the sky. and
Mountains.
they're, like,
Mountains.
but serpentine-esque. Like,
Mhm.
if you look at Shang-Chi,
Yeah, it was no.
that came out of the ocean, right? So I could definitely
true.
see this dragon that's been,
Yeah.
underwater healing itself for however long, and now it's gonna come out.
I think it depends on the type of dragon, because
Yeah.
if it's more of like a traditional like kind of like Shenron,
Yeah.
it changes, like it's their dwelling changes, because Avatar also had it where those type of dragons were in the mountains,
But those were
So-
not. Oh yeah.
and they
you're
were
right.
like
You're right.
that long
you're
serpent
right.
thing. And then
So,
now we have
yeah.
a 5-headed dragon, so it's like, where would
Mhm.
you see this person?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before we get too far on the darkness, we skipped quite a bit. I just want to touch on the fact that Yami's dad was
Yeah.
quite abusive towards. I mean,
Yeah.
Yami.
his training
Yeah.
towards
Sister.
Yami is pretty like rough,
sister.
anyways.
Yeah.
But then Yami's mom died, I guess, giving birth to Ichika.
Yeah.
And
I thought he chopped like just,
now the way he sees Ichika
Yeah.
is
Is
like
like
that.
yeah.
I was just chopped at the way he was fucking like this shit he was saying.
Yeah.
Like it was just like
you're like, yo, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
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 So,
because he's
but
like
then
he bitching at like complaining about his mom dying, and because also she gave birth to a girl, not
a
a
girl,
guy.
Yeah.
not a guy.
So
Yeah.
you're just like, bro, like what the hell?
But but we see Yami protect her, right?
Yeah,
he's about
that's
to
cool.
hit
But
her.
the
Yami
vibe,
protects
the
her.
vibe that I got was very similar to Ren from Shaman King and his father.
Yeah,
That was the vibe that I caught from that. Where he's like, because he even says, "Oh, you're gonna be the best
yeah,
like ever in the
yeah.
history of this
Yeah.
clan."
But I
Yeah.
think that kind of goes to the fact that like what, like, he killed his clan.
Yeah.
There's a
right?
reason why.
Yeah.
He's a prodigy in some sort of sense.
Yeah. Going back to what we said previous pod.
But then
Yeah.
also, this is what we were saying in the previous pod, that like, what if the Yami clan aren't actually good people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if Yami's dad was the previous head of that clan,
Yeah.
Mhm. And he's such a shitty guy.
he's a shitty guy.
Yeah.
Who are the people that he's leading?
Yeah,
No, exactly.
that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So
No.
that kind of goes to that. But then just to touch on the, or you probably have a point. Go for it.
Just the way with Ichika, the way she still blames Yami for killing
Yeah.
the whole clan.
Yeah.
It seems like there were still good people in the clan, regardless of how.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like, I guess she doesn't really know exactly what happened, because
Yeah.
when we see like her, she's bloody herself,
And she's so
right?
young.
Yeah.
And she's so
She's so
young,
young,
and she
yeah.
was basically knocked out, and
Yeah.
Ryu was carrying her.
And trauma.
Again, I kind of
trauma,
see it where like her mind was warped. Either they had to do it in a way where so she could like train and get stronger, and like
Mhm.
maybe her, I guess kind of like in a Sasuke Itachi kind of way,
So
where like
But here's
So,
the
I
thing,
don't know.
right? Like
I don't know about that.
Ryu, he should have had the same trauma that Ichika had.
Ichika had-
But whenever Asta would talk to him about Yami, he was like, "Oh yeah, how's he?"
No,
doing?"
but he's
Like,
Because
"Oh,
that's
fine."
like my
He was
young
older,
friend,
though.
blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. But
But
even then,
to
like
be-
if
if it was actually the way
if-
Ichika thought
exactly,
it was, yeah.
exactly,
And that's what I'm saying. Like they like her mind's like she didn't look at it the right way.
Mhm.
So another thing that I wanted to point out, when they talk about the sea, I just completely forgot to talk about this.
Yeah.
They say that it like connected them to hell, or something like that, and
So-
along those lines, right?
Okay, so what they say is that it causes a distortion in time and space.
Okay,
So essentially, it's a hyperbolic time chamber.
it could
Could be.
So,
They
not,
could-
so you think they're gonna take his training,
Into the thing.
No. Like I think that caused
Or-
their continent,
or you're
To
saying
be
the
in
time
a
they spent in the
Frozen?
continent?
or in like a different time.
Yeah, because in the time he spends
Yeah,
that Asta
yeah.
spends there, it's gonna be like he's gonna do all this training.
Yeah.
When he dips back, like nothing happens.
Exactly, because we only have 9 days, right, or 7 days,
And that kind of
before Lucius starts his plan.
and that goes kind of into his eye.
Yeah, it
Ryuya's
says
eye.
that it connected to hell.
Yeah,
So that kind of goes into Ryuya's eye, how he can see the present, especially with the time fluctuation. If he's seeing the way the world's moving
but not only that, but Ryuya doesn't have his eye
back then,
back then. So
Yeah.
what gave him his eye?
and that was what he
I'm
was
trying to
saying,
say.
where the
Oh, sorry.
devil,
It
that's the
connected.
demon or whatever.
The sea gets connected to hell.
Yeah.
What are the chances that like a devil could just come up
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And
probably
he
where he
makes-
got it into his eye.
into his,
His
eye?
Mm.
But we also don't know, because correct me if I'm wrong, but was Ryu also damaged when he was carrying Ichika at the end there?
I don't recall him being damaged.
Yeah.
I thought he
So
looked,
he just
looked
pulled
normal.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is like, what are the chances that he got caught in the crossfire and lost his eye,
yeah,
and then got his
Mm.
clairvoyance
Yeah.
after?
but here's the
Yami.
thing,
Yeah.
right? This
'Cause
is the
if-
issue. The issue is if that's a gateway to hell.
Yeah.
Basically, all the events of all the previous arcs,
Yeah.
No, they're gone, right? Like,
null and void, and that's terrible writing.
I guess, but at
Because
the
they
same-
needed to create a gate for
Yeah.
these for them, where they could just came from the sea from the other side.
But to be fair,
Mm.
what are the chances that like that gate is in like a location that's like in like a lower level, that like devil location?
Like only low level devils can get out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
Maybe.
spirit
or
barrier from
maybe
Yu
the
Yu
dragon
Hakusho.
is protecting the gate.
Or the dragon's protecting them?
Dragon's
No.
protecting
yeah.
the gate,
Yeah, that could be a thing too. I just want to touch on that. But in the beginning of the chapter, she mentions that their clan were Kijin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Kenji?
whatever that is.
Kijin are Oni,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just,
Oni
a different,
gods.
it's just a different way of saying it. The
demon
gods.
demon gods,
Okay.
essentially demon gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think the reason why, and I'm going to theories.
Yeah.
The reason why, Yami slaughtered his clan was because, from my impression of his dad, it seemed as though he wanted power. Someone who wants power.
Yeah.
And he was gonna perform some sort of ritual to
And-
become a demon god.
Yo, wait,
And
hold on.
he had to
okay.
stop it.
He
Okay,
had
two
to
things.
stop it?
Two
Mm.
things.
Yeah.
Either he probably did do the ritual, and you know what he
I
did?
think
He
the
probably
ritual
took
happened.
he took the souls of all of them, put them into Yami, made Yami a beast,
Oh, like without
pumped
his
him,
consent.
like pumped
without
him.
his consent.
Yeah, and then each
Yeah.
guy, like he
No.
either that
say
or
what?
with you saying the demon came up, he probably controlled all of them, where Yami had to resort to killing them all, in a way.
Because
So,
you
like,
see, Yami's blade is bloodied.
Yeah.
So then why would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think he had to kill them all because of some shit that went down.
I
Like,
think
it was,
I think
he was
everybody
forced to
got
do
caught in
it.
the crossfire because I just
Yeah.
checked. Ryu was also bloodied.
Is
Okay.
he? Okay.
Yeah.
I think everybody got caught in the crossfire, and if Ryu gets caught in the
Mm.
crossfire, that's like something's controlling Yami.
Yeah.
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 Right?
They're boys.
Either Yami
Yeah.
got controlled or like the other
yeah,
guys got
the other
controlled.
guys
And
got
he had to cut
controlled,
them
and
down.
Yami,
Mhm.
because Yami's what 13 right now, right? They
At the
name
time?
drop him.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
13,
so.
14.
Yeah.
So at the age of 13, he already has like a good, like he's probably the best of the best out of the Yami clan. I feel like.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Because-
Yeah.
Well, he's like, yo, screw it, I just want to fish, right?
Yeah.
And he's friends with Rio Kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's protecting his little sister Ichika.
Mhm.
He's probably the like best moral sort of compass, like has the best moral compass out of the
Yeah.
Yami clan,
Yeah.
right? So he totally just said, yo, screw it, I'm gonna just slaughter them, just and then
He's like, screw it, we don't need any more.
no, because he might have been fed up with them, because
Yeah, but it's does that play
again,
into Yami's character though?
correct.
For him to like just kill all these guys.
if it was like if his hand was forced,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause I like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if like in any situation if his hand was forced, he would, like, for example, William. If his hand's forced, I guarantee you he's slicing through William.
Yeah.
Vengeance.
Yeah. No, I could see that too.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Like,
too.
and the same thing goes with like Julius.
Yeah.
If his hand gets forced, I
He
can
has
totally
to,
see
yeah.
him kill Julius, even though Julius is like the one that like helped him in the Clover Kingdom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yo,
Yeah.
so wait, the other thing I want to mention, sorry, was they say, I might be wrong, but
Just go for it.
they say that they're demon wielding sword or demon dwelling swords.
Yeah.
Something
Welding,
along.
I think. What wasn't it? Welding?
Demon wielding?
No,
Or was it
I
wielding?
think it was dwelling, and Asta's
Just
sword is
fact
called the
check for us.
demon. Yeah,
I'll
can you
fact
fact
check
check us
for
right now?
us.
Fact check us right now, so I get this right.
Just keep talking though. I'll
But
correct.
Asta's sword is called the demon dwelling blade.
Dwelling blade, yeah.
So I was like, damn, it's like they're essentially the same type
Like
of thing.
it's converging in a way.
Yeah.
I think the thing is,
It's like in the early in the chapter.
yeah.
Yeah.
I scrolled through.
But also just going to the time thing that we're talking about, if it is where like their continent moves at a different speed of time,
Mm-hmm.
would you rather prefer it where it's actually moving faster or slower? Because like, remember that whole post-apocalyptic thing we were kind of
Yeah.
talking about, where by the time Asta comes back, Lucius has already like taken over and like done all these things. You know what I'm talking about? Would you like?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because like if the time is so different, like either it takes longer, so when they come back, it's already been like a couple of years, and that's all happened. Even though to Asta it only had been like a month, or they do it the other way,
Right here. What?
where, like, that doesn't
We're
even go
proud
down.
descendants of the demon sword wielders. Sorry, demon sword wielders.
So, but that stuff goes in the sense of like what Asta
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
like, cause his swords, he has one demon slayer sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has the demon dwelling sword.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if the katana Yami gave him was a demon something sword.
Sword. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm,
Like another demon sword. And like this is the perfect continent for him, I guess.
Yeah.
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 and then
The
just
other
going,
thing in the
Sorry.
chapter though,
yeah,
the way Ichika manipulates her dark magic.
Yeah.
dude, the last page, right?
Yeah.
When she's wearing like the dark,
She makes, like, a
samurai
cloak
shit.
out
Like
of
it's a
it.
samurai armor.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah, yeah.
so sick.
That's so dope.
It looks sick, but yo, it's so similar to the Devil Union.
Yeah, I agree.
It just didn't seem that special. I was looking at it, I was like,
So they've already done something like
that's
that.
what Asta's
Yeah.
Union is, essentially.
Yeah.
It just makes a cloak over.
But where his is like
But
a
the
knight
way-
armor.
but the way-
yeah, his is
her-
like a knight armor. Hers is like a
A
samurai.
samurai,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
But his is made
kinda
of
cool.
anti-magic, hers is like made of darkness.
So you can,
But Notch
but-
does the same thing.
but you can say,
But his is based off a devil.
Yeah,
It's a Devil
yeah,
Union.
but also that union thing, like that's kind of like top tier, right? At least apart from a key.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
So then it
If
makes,
you're a double-
and she
if
said she
you're-
was gonna be serious. So it's
Mhm.
like now they're about to fight, and
He
see
already
what's
went
up,
into
right?
Union.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
she
I know,
hoped him.
but
Without any
but
of
this is her
this.
for
Yeah,
this-
without any of this.
But now she's going into union, and she's gonna be like,
But
let
that's
me see
not.
what you.
But no, what I'm trying to
You
say
know?
is it's so similar to Union.
Yeah,
It's just it doesn't make sense to reuse the same concept.
Form. Yeah, like give her a new form.
Yeah,
Essentially.
why not though?
because it just follows the same. I thought because if you're making different powers, right? You have key-based power, which they've
Yeah.
already delved into.
But that doesn't mean they
recently.
can't also explore their actual magic section of darkness and
Yeah,
stuff.
but
it's-
maybe
it's
have
the
their
same-
darkness work some like
No,
in a
because-
different way.
Yeah,
But
Mm.
so the way that I see it is the way that we see Yuno essentially cover himself with like
yeah,
magic, right?
right.
It's
Same
different.
It's
thing.
different.
He applies it
It's
differently.
like it's different. Like he has it just
The
makes him look
crown.
cooler,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like a crown.
Yeah.
Her thing looks exactly not exactly since it like we just said it's samurai,
Yeah.
and then Asta's is
more
at
like
night.
a knight, yeah.
It just didn't seem
Mm.
special to me
Mhm.
when I saw it, because I was like, that's just Devil Union rehashed.
Yeah,
Still look
I
dope,
see
though.
that.
It looked
Yeah.
dope,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
it just didn't seem special to me.
Mhm.
Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, well, look, she went into a Devil Union.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, okay, like
But maybe,
when you
like-
when you think about
yeah.
it, like in terms of like every magic user or like devil person, I guess it kind of makes it like there's gonna be like what are the odds that only one person has that type of devil union?
No, because
thing?
I think it's
Right.
it's to
No,
more
because
so.
we have not who's
who
the
can also
the,
do it.
Yeah.
He has multiple devils.
How does his union look?
They all look different.
They all look different.
Because they'll be
they
like
But
all
are
attack
they
special.
all armor based?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No, they're
He
not.
has
they're
the
not,
one.
they're not.
Remember when he fought the twin devils?
Yeah.
He had sick look. I
Yeah.
remember I saved the panel and put it as my
Yeah.
wallpaper. It was a cloak with like the sharp doctor nose thing.
Beak from
Yeah.
like back in the day.
Yeah.
back in
like
the day.
Black Death
Also,
type.
And it
thing.
looks
also Fire
sick.
Force, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Fire Force.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So he can like basically has 4 different devils. He'll be like attack
Mm.
form, defense form,
So
whatever.
you
and then
would've-
he can just choose whichever
So
one to
you
use or
would've-
all 4 at the same time.
You'd just rather had it not been armor and been like some other type of thing,
Some
like
other
a.
thing, yeah.
But then you could kind of say like because it's a samurai thing and like the way her personality is, like she's so
It
dutiful.
makes sense that it's a samurai
It makes
sword.
sense, and then
Because
also
they even mentions the land of the rising sun.
Yeah, and also
I'm
with
not
her
saying that,
training-
Yeah.
also with her training Asta, it's like because their unions are so similar, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like the perfect
Mm.
training.
But what
No,
I
we
think it
had
is,
not who already
Yeah,
trained him in
exactly.
Devil Union.
but what I think it is
This
I
is
think it's the
better.
darkness connection.
He's
Like a step
a
further.
master of Devil Union.
I think it's the darkness's connection to devils.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
this is
Because
this
we
is
know
still, yeah.
we know that there is some form of connection between like devils
and darkness.
and darkness or hell
Right.
and darkness.
We know that, yeah.
because it's able to affect the devils, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
they needed
He's been
Yami,
the only one other than Asta who's
Yeah.
been able to actually
No.
deal damage.
and they needed
Mm.
Yami to open the gate. Remember?
yeah, they needed
Yeah.
So
because of
I
his
think
darkness.
this is just to show the connection.
So again, to the point of the sea, since they needed Yami's darkness magic to open the gate, doesn't
Yeah.
it just completely make sense that actually does connect to hell, the sea, because it's darkness?
Yeah, probably. That because he's like, from there, that he's the key to open it.
Exactly.
Because he's the only one left now.
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah, but I still don't like that. It's like already
Same thing.
there in the world.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, it's the last page. We'll see where they take it next chapter.
True.
Right.
Another great chapter dropped this week. I mean, I know you're probably gonna have a field day with this one.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter 392.
Damn.
So
Hunter x Hunter, bro. Like,
it's back. It's back. I know it came back last week, but it is back.
dude, like this is like the way I wanted last chapter to go,
Mhm.
and like it's kind of like he teased us with last chapter, and then
Yeah.
one is I didn't expect them to even drop a chapter this week.
Oh,
I
me
was
neither.
like,
me neither.
I was thinking
He
like,
said he's back weekly.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
See,
Yo,
I thought
I
it was
thought-
like monthly.
monthly.
No,
he
I'm
said
thinking
he's back
monthly, and
weekly.
I'm like, let him do his thing. Like I don't want anything to hurt this guy.
No,
again.
Yeah.
no,
Like,
he came back.
like, let
He
him
said, "Yo,
rest.
guys, I'm back weekly. Be
Yeah,
prepared next
That's
week."
actually wild.
Drops
Like,
a chapter.
I'm happy to hear that, but
Yeah.
But so in this chapter, there's a setup for the dead family member.
yeah. So one thing like during all of this succession war that's been happening,
Yeah.
we know that people have been killing each other, like the princes and whatever. But like the thing is, when like you hear about them dying, you're kind of like, okay, how are they disposing of the
passengers,
body?
yeah.
There's passengers, the civilians, and like all
Mhm.
this. Like none of these guys know that this war is happening. Only the people like in the military or whatever, like the higher ups, actually really know that this is what's happening. Everyone else is kind of just there for the ride and whatever, right?
Mhm.
So having them introduce this character that her Nen ability activated post death, and that
Yeah.
she's actually the one, kind of like a Grim Reaper, like she's the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
taking their bodies and disposing of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's two things. Cause one is like because they have Nen beasts attached to their bodies, you don't
Mhm.
know what that means for them post death. So having her as a cleanup crew kind of like closes that, like like so
Right.
right. And then also like the other thing with like just like how civilians are gonna see it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it cleans that up too. So you're
Mhm.
not like sitting there like, why is everyone so normal
That's
about
true.
this whole section
That's
where it's
true.
happening, right? So I like that he came back and did that, and then that's not even the best part of the whole fucking chapter, right?
We had our boy,
The boy.
We got the main
The
man.
boy.
We got the
Hisoka
main man.
return.
Yeah.
And what does his return mean? Could this mean
Yo.
like a tone shift?
Yeah.
Dude, so many things because like
The pacing's probably gonna quicken.
Pacing,
from
exactly.
Yeah.
and even in just the chapter, like when they're looking for Hisoka and they're like, it's not this guy, but then you see him pull up, and obviously he doesn't look like Hisoka. He's a little bit like changed his stuff out.
Yeah.
But the shift, like a change, like
Yeah.
they're trying to body him, and he's like,
He's
no,
like, what the hell
shut
do you guys
up.
want?
Yeah, and then it just changes everything from there, and then because like before you had the Phantom Troop looking for him, and so everyone had theories of like, yo, like where is he? Who is he gonna be? Everyone thought he was somebody already introduced,
Mhm.
and not even
He
introduced
just pulled
yet.
up.
Like literally just pulled up, and he's
He
just
just
he's
pulled up.
vibing. He's literally
Yeah.
just
Actually,
vibing.
just vibing, bro.
And then obviously there's that theory I mentioned last week or something where they thought Illumi was actually him.
Yeah.
Right. And part of me kind of like when I was reading it, I'm like, I kind of don't even know if it's him because he didn't actually say that it's him
Yeah.
in the chapter. He doesn't say it, but like you can just tell from like his demeanor and shit. You're like, oh, that's him, right?
That's him. Yeah.
But
Especially
then-
when he was like, yo, what the hell do you guys want?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
but there is one thing that like Togashi does where he always puts like a suit, like what is it, suit of cards or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
like a heart, diamond, or like
something.
something to
Yeah.
signify like
It's
when
Hisoka?
Hisoka's talking.
Yeah.
So it was a diamond there.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like
so it's like confirmation.
yeah, essentially, and then I'm kind of around because like from when we saw him from the Krollo fight,
Yeah.
and you saw like how different he is,
Oh yeah.
and the thing is, their perception of him is the old Hisoka.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, he's the type that wants to stack the cards against him, like the deck
Yeah.
against him, and still beat the odds type of thing. Like he revels in it.
Yeah.
But now he's not even like that.
Nah, he's above the
Now he's
smoke.
like, he doesn't care. Like
He's
just
on
gonna-
he's on the Black Air Force energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like he's ready for the smoke. So it's like next chapter is gonna be some heat, like
100%.
and then you see like it's also deadly to see all these like literally every single family is trying to find Hisoka.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, like we gotta like get this guy for the Phantom Troop because they're just gonna like bless us. And then
Mhm.
So you just spoke of the Phantom Troop.
Yeah. Then we
Yeah.
see the Phantom Troop in just a room, just chilling.
and then
All of them. Like damn.
Damn.
and because I guess like because the outside world has a different perception on the Phantom Troop.
Yeah.
It's nice to see where they all kind of like they're expecting the Phantom Troop to do some shit. Like you had the one family be like, we expected them to go take our treasure, do this,
Mhm.
but they're just like chilling and vibing and like
Yeah.
staying together because they know that like if they split off, like Hisoka's just gonna
Oh, yeah, pick them
1v1
off.
them and just
100%.
fuck them up, right?
100%.
And then so like them like nobody's seeing this side of them, so it's like I like that they're showing the difference
I really
because we
hope-
get to see it
Yeah.
because we spent time with them in Greed Island
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
New
yeah.
York or York New City and
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
right? So
I really
Yeah.
hope this turns into like, and I don't think Togashi will do this,
Yeah.
into like a horror type thing
yeah,
where Hisoka's just picking them all.
like it's like a serial killer vibe.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how
And the tone just completely
Yeah.
changes.
yeah. Oh, it's gonna
That'd be crazy if you
so
just did
crazy.
that. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
That'd be
we have
crazy.
no
That'd
idea
be
what we're in
crazy.
store for,
No,
like
for real.
in terms of like
Yeah.
Hisoka and the Phantom Troop. And then we also had the guy
But you
pull
know-
up with the zipper thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last time we saw him, he was like running away in a hallway from the Phantom Troop,
Yeah.
and they were sensing his energy, and they're
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of looking around to find
He
Hisoka.
reminds me of Bucciarati
Yeah,
from JoJo's.
yeah, like just the zipper power.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of crazy though? We had Togashi take off how many years? 5?
Like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's
give
just
or
go
take.
5. Let's just generalize it 5.
Yeah,
He took off 5 years, and obviously he wasn't just like thinking about Hunter x Hunter the whole time, right?
Oh yeah.
But it means that like within those 5 years, if he was planning everything
Oh, yeah.
out.
Oh, he was.
Oh yeah.
No, I believe that.
And like we had like the theory that he was already writing his manuscripts, right?
Yeah.
Like just in case he was never able to finish
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just so that way, like his wife could take over and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if he has all that planned out, that means that we're in store for like
Crazy shit.
something.
Just
Like it's not
crazy.
like he's like
Something-
it's like you know
yeah.
how sometimes like you have a weekly manga where like they're still formulating what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He's got it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like because he's taken so much time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he has everything down.
laid out.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's still like information heavy, which
And-
I don't mind because
But the way that he writes,
it's good.
you know it's gonna be some
Yeah.
crazy stuff. And
Oh,
the way
yeah.
it's gonna connect and,
like-
everything
Mhm,
that's gonna come
mhm.
together is just gonna be so
Like,
nice.
My favorite thing is like mainly like the continuity aspect of it.
I feel like he
Like I feel like he held that down.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
Even the panels you got of like Hisoka, where like you have that one guy just shitting the bed, looking at Hisoka.
Oh yeah, he's like, yo, what is this energy?
Yeah, like and
So,
they're just like
You
yo,
pointed this out
is him.
too. His art's looking good, man.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
His
it
art
is.
is
He's-
looking
'cause he's-
good.
It's not like how it was before, where he's just cluttering it with just words on a
Mhm,
page.
mhm.
He's actually like making the environment. Each character is actually drawn properly.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
noticed.
like,
the
it
characters
makes-
being
yeah.
drawn properly.
So he's back in like prime. This is
Yeah.
prime.
You've been
This is
saying he's
prime.
been in his element.
yeah, like this is
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
He's in his element.
bro.
Yeah.
If I see some like Yu Yu Hakusho level type of art, or it's like
Like where it's just like a
when he's fighting like Toguro and you
Yeah.
just see
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that level of detail with Toguro and like
Yeah.
the whole like stand there. Oh, that'd be crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
Waiting on
of
that.
somebody else in their prime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Great
Clover.
transition.
Jujutsu Kaisen
Yeah,
202.
JJK. Yeah.
Honestly,
What an immaculate
Wow.
chapter.
What a
it
chapter.
was solid.
It was solid.
Yo,
Okay,
are we gonna
I'm kidding,
jump
I'm
in
kidding,
this
I'm kidding.
time?
Yeah.
It was a banger.
no,
It was a
no.
banger. It was a banger.
It was good.
Just kidding. I just had to say it.
Dude, the way that this chapter not only gave us so much information, but also
Yeah.
just set up what's about to happen in the
Yeah.
future
Yeah.
was so spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way that like the whole art is done right
Mhm.
now, like for one, the way the barrier looked,
And when he broke,
Oh.
like when he broke,
And when he
into-
broke
into the
barrier,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
pretty, bro.
So
Like
sick.
Kenjaku when he broke.
I
the
kind
barrier.
of
Yeah.
wanted him to like the way he broke in was like nice, but I wanted him to break in.
like a whole bunch of shit behind him. or-
No, like how Yuji breaks in.
Like he just shatters it completely.
Because you know how
like,
Yuji
uh,
breaks into the domain with Mahito,
yeah,
and it's like his feet first, and he's just like jumping in.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted, you know.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Kenjaku-
It's
Kenjaku's
okay.
more
I
calculated.
know.
Yeah.
And like what's a really good point to like note is Kenjaku's supposed to be a better barrier technique user than Tengen,
Oh shit.
which was
Yeah.
noted when Tengen was talking about Kenjaku, I believe,
Yeah. When they were first talking about
when they
him
first
before.
talk about
Yeah.
him. So the way that he breaks in is just like perfect for somebody who knows
Yeah,
barrier
100%.
techniques, right? Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing the Yuji
No, no,
thing where
exactly.
he's just breaking
No,
through
no,
it.
he's literally just like
He's just like, he's like, everybody get out of my way type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
There was also like with the opening of the chapter, I like the way they're finally kind of going back to Yuki
Yeah.
So this is a
'Cause
conversation we've been waiting for so,
for so
long.
Yeah.
long, man. Because we don't know anything about her, and we're just like, man, like
yeah.
she has like the potential to be like a top 3 character or something.
Well, she's a
100%.
special grade,
right?
exactly. So you're kind of just like waiting on her to.
Speaking of special grade, they reveal that in this
Yeah.
chapter, she was the previous Star Plasma vessel.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you before we get into the discussion on everything,
Yeah.
is that the reason she's a special grade?
Because she's a star plasma.
I don't
Because
think
she-
so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I
No way.
think what happened was she was a candidate for star plasma vessel, but because of her abilities,
Yeah.
it made sense to not make her
Yeah.
and not merge her.
I agree.
agree.
I agree too.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
that's where, like, that conversation, like, now we can get into the discussion. The conversation of what she was talking about when she starts off, she was like, was there no other option than Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think she was the prime candidate.
Because she
or
was a
something,
prime
right?
cat, other than me, is
Oh,
what
yeah,
she
yeah,
says.
yeah,
other
yeah.
than me.
Yeah.
So there probably was somebody else.
No, she confirms.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way that he answers was, like, so, like, oblivious, or not oblivious, obvious to the fact that there is
Yeah.
or was other options, but he's just said, screw it, let's just see what happens, let me
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
There's some. Okay, did you like notice like is there like some angst I guess towards Tengen?
Bro, she's
you-
mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
so-
course.
so-
she's
so-
mad.
But I mean like, do you think like, because like it kind of felt like she has like a bone to pick with him, but do you think
Of
it's
course.
kind of like in a way where she wants to like take his like, you know what I mean? Like if
No,
he,
No,
no.
the way that she comes off, and she even says it, she feels angry that the fact that Tengen took this massive risk
And
of
think-
evolving
Yeah.
and thinks
instead
rational
of
and shit.
and instead of finding another vessel,
yeah.
Yeah.
he left everything, karma, everything. She even
Yeah.
says it. She
Yeah.
left it all on the shoulders of the children.
Yeah.
No, and also
Because even the way like they went through all this shit, and he was just like, if it worked out, it worked out. If it didn't, whatever.
I know, and essentially
She was
what-
kind of just
yeah.
like, bro, like we're doing all this shit, and that's all you like. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day.
No, because essentially
like-
all the kids' lives who they sacrificed
Yeah.
meant nothing.
Yeah,
Because if he was gonna evolve anyways,
Yeah.
he should have just evolved earlier on.
yeah,
earlier on.
Yeah.
But then you also think about it now that everything because he decided that after Rico he wasn't going to merge.
Yeah.
yeah.
He left it all on Yuji guys.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
banking on Yuji guys to basically
So,
win, right?
Yeah.
But the way I was, because like obviously when I read it, completely different. Because the context that I read it was, I thought she had already merged with other people,
Yeah.
and when she was hearing their voices, it was like I didn't realize it was Tengen until you guys explained it to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tengen's
But, like,
speaking and he's
yeah.
saying like he's asking her like after I merge with them, I
Yeah,
can't hear
hear
their
them
voices anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So-
asks her, "What are like can you hear them? What are they saying?"
Which is
Yeah.
like
And then-
crazy because like what are they telling her?
That's the thing. She
Yeah.
says, "I'm not gonna tell you because whether or not if it's good or it's bad, you're
Like,
gonna
fuck you.
find a way to rationalize it
Yeah.
and and put it in some like
Like, where it doesn't
Just
Yeah.
be content.
Yeah.
righteous sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
way like whatever happened was meant to be
Yeah.
type of situation,
Yeah.
which
But so do you
is
see
putting such a massive flaw on this like grand
Grand
character.
character. Yeah.
Right?
Tengen.
what do
Well,
you,
his name is like Tengen. Also means heaven. Does it
Heaven.
not?
Yeah.
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 And
What
which
do
is
you
He just a thumbs down, not a thumbs up, right?
oh man, but
Why are you still looking
So-
like that, bro?
yeah, because we didn't need like that.
so
I got no words for you. I got no words for you.
Yeah.
Literally has 0 words for you.
but I'm curious on like why did Tengen feel that like he obviously tries to explain it, but like we don't. I don't feel like that explanation he gives was like
Good enough.
good enough for him.
Yeah,
Like obviously for
yeah.
the story you can go with
Yeah.
it, but like for somebody that's supposed to be like as I just said, somebody that's so grand,
Yeah.
it's such a flawed character
Mm-hmm.
because he's thinking in like you knew of Kenjaku
Yeah.
and you still decided to like evolve.
Yeah.
You put yourself in everybody at risk because you
But,
are
okay.
now in the prime position for Kenjaku's plan.
Yeah.
Like obviously maybe he doesn't necessarily know the exact plan, but when he was talking to the kids, he explains it. He's like he needs me.
Mhm.
There's a couple things though where you're like, because at the time Gojo was around,
It's okay.
where it was like he felt that his risk wasn't a real risk. Because again, with
Yeah.
him being like rational and like from his perspective,
Gojo would have never got sealed.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just thinking about like the pros and cons,
Mm-hmm.
whatever his solution was, whatever he got to was the best solution. You know what I mean? It's only because Gojo got sealed that like he fucked up with it and what he chose to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's true. But
So
Yuki makes a point that she's not gonna make it easy for Tengen.
Yeah.
yeah, but so what I'm wondering is like, is she just gonna make him try to like redeem himself?
No, I feel yes.
But do you think also with the Kenjaku, like with him coming through, do you think Tengen's even surviving this whatever's
No,
about to go
I
down?
think I think his plan's gonna line up completely. Like Kenjaku's gonna win.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Against Yuki, like we're gonna see Yuki versus Kenjaku.
Yes.
yeah, I think we're gonna
Okay.
see. Like,
Or-
I think we're probably.
Or I
So that
wouldn't-
means Chozo's dying, or you think Chozo's
So
converting?
let's get into this.
The chapter.
Kenjaku invades now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where he is at what do they call it?
The entrance.
The entrance to like the
Yeah.
barrier, but they call it the location that Tengen's is called like the Tomb of the Stars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Kenjaku's now breaking through the barrier, and like
Yeah.
we were saying it before, he just breaks in like so
Yeah.
pretty,
Yeah.
right?
and
Yeah.
that's a nice spread too.
like
Yeah.
yeah. He's just like walking through, like he's like walking through a curtain type of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And first person he meets, it's Chozo,
Yeah.
and Chozo he was like what did he say to Chozo?
He's like, "Where's Tengen?"
Or yeah, and then
And then
this is
yeah,
the-
and then Chozo's like, "Yo, I don't know, yo, that thumb doesn't."
that thumb doesn't want to talk to
See,
you.
yeah.
I guess you're not liked around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this is where we start to get into Kenjaku's plan.
Yeah.
Like this is the
Yeah.
first time
we. Yeah.
we
where
actually
we're
know.
actually eating some
But-
of what
so there's-
Kenjaku's cooking.
Cooking.
Before he starts talking about his plan, like one is like you see him open another barrier or like a domain type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like the background, like he just kind of does it again, and then they
Mhm.
switch to like a movie theater.
Yeah. Kenjaku.
And
Kenjaku takes
I just
Chozo on a
think
date.
I just think that's so cool how he just
Literally,
did
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
He took his son on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Mahito in the movie theater
Yeah.
with
You know what? It also
other guy.
reminded me of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Denji.
Yeah.
Yeah, reminded me of that too. But just the way that like
By the Chainsaw Man one?
Because Denji and Maki.
Oh,
when
when I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, right.
Chainsaw Man spoilers
right.
after the fact. You know how like at that point it was Mahito who's evil, and then it was forgot his name who died. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't remember his name. Junpei.
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 Yeah. So it's Mahito who's evil, Junpei who's like kind of teetering.
Yeah.
Now we have Kenjaku who's evil, and then
Chozo's
Chozo
gonna
who's
be
kind of teetering.
But
I
do you?
don't think he's teetering.
I
We'll
don't
see.
think he's
Yeah,
teetering either.
no,
I think he's gonna either absorb Chozo or like just kill him or something.
Because while they're talking, he's like, "Oh, don't talk shit about my brother."
Yeah.
And
I
like the
don't-
way Chozo said it to Kenjaku, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bro, you really think you could take him?"
Yeah.
But
No,
to
but
be
personally,
fair, they've
like,
already sat down before. Like
Yeah.
in the earlier like beginning like what the first 30 chapters, they're
Yeah.
sitting like playing Monopoly. Bro.
That's true. That's true.
personally, I don't see Chozo like I don't see his value past this point.
Yeah, like he's gonna die.
Like he's like in terms of like him getting stronger and stuff. So I
Mhm,
kind of
yeah.
see it being the end of his road.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Right.
he's gonna die, and his death is gonna trigger something in Yuji.
In
Yuji? Oh.
Because you
like
have
the
that
connection they have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Because
gonna
they haven't
cause
even
something.
explained that connection.
No,
yet.
and it's
So
gonna
it's gonna be a
cause-
way to bring that in.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
he's gonna see Kenja. Like I think he's gonna get off screened.
Like,
Their fight
oh.
is gonna get off screened,
What?
so we're actually not gonna see Kenjaku's techniques,
Uh,
and then we're only gonna see his techniques against
Yeah,
Yuki.
or maybe just like
But-
one technique at the end to just finish him.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then somehow through his connection,
But to be honest,
he's gonna pass on the information of his technique to Yuji.
honestly,
So
no.
that Yuji's curse technique can be a counteraction of that
Oh, that'd be cool.
because it hasn't been developed.
But
Yet.
also,
Right,
okay,
right,
I
yeah.
kind of see it where, because Kenjaku can still use Ghetto stuff,
Yeah,
I can just see him
using
full on ghetto.
Yeah,
yeah,
he could,
like
he
still
could.
you just using Ghetto shit to just fuck
Yeah.
him up, and then yeah,
So getting more into Kenjaku's plan though.
Yeah.
Essentially, he wants to create just a massive cursed spirit,
yeah,
but in the way that he's explaining it
yeah,
is
like he just wants the world to be filled with cursed spirits, like, but he wants to like
well, cursed energy in general.
curse
energy,
energy.
I feel like,
yeah.
and,
yeah.
and the way
So he
that he
wants to take
explains
all humans, right?
Yeah.
and like turn them into cursed
spirits.
spirits and like whirlpool them together as a Uzumaki.
like an
Yeah.
Uzumaki,
yeah,
which is like an ability Ghetto uses. So it's not
Yeah.
something that we haven't heard before.
yeah,
But we see it visually when
Yeah.
Kenjaku's explaining his plan,
Yeah,
where like the people are being turned
Like
into
warped
like
and shit.
Yeah, they're getting warped.
almost
and
like a
then-
whirlpool, right? Like they're like
Yeah. The other thing is like I thought it was more of like a call to Uzumaki, like
It is.
Junji Ito's
Yeah.
Uzumaki.
It is.
Yeah.
Originally, it is.
Mhm.
Of course.
and also, I mean, with the way the explanation went, with the extracting,
Mhm.
that kind of made me like that was also from Naruto because
Yeah.
like
yeah.
they're also extracting like, the Jinchuriki from
Yeah, yeah.
them, right?
So-
And they've done it like a couple times now. So
So
Mhm.
what was interesting though is Kenjaku talks about how Yuki was like almost like thinking the same way he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that kind of made him happy or whatever. But he also says that like just like his calling game barrier
Mhm.
Yeah.
achieved what she was
yeah,
like,
he already achieved what it had to do.
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's what I was saying. That's where I was saying where I was like, yo, he just wanted them there because his plan's already going forward.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what's happening in the calling games anymore because he just
Mhm.
needed them there.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I feel like he needs them in the location where Tengen is because of Tengen's barrier, right? Because that's how it's explained when Tengen's talking about it. He's like,
Yeah.
he needs to absorb everything through my barrier because he's basically one with everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So he's gonna absorb all these sorcerers.
everything
Yeah.
and create
That-
this
that big-
massive thing that we
thing
see,
That
which
Attack
is
on
in a
Titan.
reference to,
Yeah, the Attack
or
on
we
Titan
assume it's in a
callback.
reference to
Attack
It seems.
Attack on
I
Titan.
mean, they
Yeah.
could both be looking at the same kind of literature where they look at this being as like a big god, like the peak of like evolution.
yeah.
So I could see both mangas getting that reference, but
From what piece of literature?
I don't like.
He's just
Yeah.
saying.
I'm just
In
saying I can see
general?
them because like
Okay.
the way the Attack on Titan design is, I can
Yeah.
see them seeing like that as like peak evolution,
Mm-hmm.
and then with JJK, I see it being a callback to Attack on Titan, but I also
Yeah.
know he's well researched, so I can
Yeah.
also see him
Somewhere
Things
else he got
on-
it from.
yeah.
somewhere
Yeah,
else,
yeah. Especially with that like the Ganesh reference he had like
Yeah.
last time, right?
That's true.
So-
That's true.
What I find like weird though is I don't see this as a Kenjaku's fine. Like this
Ah,
isn't. This
no.
isn't like.
No.
It doesn't
this
seem-
isn't
It's
this
a stepping
touchdown,
stone.
bro.
It's a
This is-
I
stepping
don't know,
yeah.
because at the end,
Yeah.
Chozo's like, why are you doing all this? And he's like, because I'm fascinated.
He's
Is that-
fascinated.
yo, and then
And
the
then
thing
he
is,
also
why
ex-
is he also revealing it to him?
Because
he
Chozo's
can-
dead.
He died.
Because he's dead,
Right.
yeah. Like at this point, it's like everything has been laid out where it doesn't matter
It
what's
doesn't
happening
matter
now.
what anybody does, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also like in that last I think it was the last page where he was like, yo, like it'd be funny if that peak form
Just
was
looks
just
like
like a
a
clown.
Clown.
But that face, like that reminded me of that dude.
From Demon Slayer.
Was it from Demon Slayer?
The sword. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that face is
The
like
face?
Well, it's also a person. I think.
No, it reminded me of
Someone from earlier on in.
was it
JJK, no?
Richie? The guy who makes jokes and stuff? And it comes into reality?
Oh,
What do you?
no,
what
no,
do
It
you-
kind of
like
reminded me of him for some
it
reason.
reminded me of the like. Remember during Shibuya incident,
Yeah.
there was like that 3 family members.
And the ones that brought back
Toji.
Toji.
Yeah,
I think
he
because they're wearing a mask.
He's wearing a
Yeah,
mask.
yeah,
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 it reminded me of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, because they were in hiding, right? Prior, and
Yeah.
that's when they go into the whole Gojo side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. Yeah, we don't talk about mid here.
But it's definitely the same clay mask that like the guy
Yeah.
from Demon Slayer is wearing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Similar type. But that's probably more of like maybe like a Japanese
It's a
thing.
it's a generic Japanese
thing.
it is.
Yeah.
But so Kenjaku's just like, I'd laugh if that's the case,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And then
But
that's where
he
shit,
still wants to see it happen.
and that's where
it's-
like shit gets serious. Chozo does his piercing blood,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it cuts off there.
Yeah.
But again, I don't see this as Kenjaku's final.
Oh,
Point.
yeah,
It doesn't make
I don't
it doesn't
either.
make sense for it to be like him to just want to create a cursed spirit or something like that,
No,
right?
but-
like some
Mhm. No, it's probably like
that was the point that I was getting to.
yeah.
Like every country he wants it like filled with cursed spirits. Like he wants like we said, ultimate chaos.
Mhm.
Right? He's just fascinated because he wants to see like what it can like how far evolution can go in a way.
I think it actually has something to do with like again we've talked about the concept of heaven and hell
Mhm.
in Jujutsu Kaisen. So if he wants to rewrite how the world works,
Yeah.
to some form he has to become a god.
Yeah.
And I think this is like a stepping stone.
Do you think he's obsessed with being a god though?
No, I think he wants to just change the world, but this
Yeah.
is his only way.
Like change the system?
Yeah, only way to do that is to create this giant beast type thing.
Like, no, that'd be so different because he wants to change the system from the roots up, like from the foundation
No,
yeah.
up.
I feel
Yeah.
like he wanted it to go back to the Heian era, right? That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like cursed energy was like
Rampant.
like that.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
way to move, right?
Mhm.
Like regular humans weren't really a
Mm.
thing. Everybody
Yeah.
was a curse user.
It's almost like a survival of the fittest thing. Like just take away, like strip away like governance.
Mhm.
But that's
essentially.
that's why I think that's the case though.
Yeah.
Like strip away the governance,
Yeah.
survival of the fit, because that's what calling game essentially
Essentially
means.
is.
Essentially
The
was,
Japanese name,
Yeah.
which is something completely different than calling game generalizes it completely.
Yeah.
What's the Japanese
Calling
name?
the Japanese. To be honest, I'll get it to you after the pod, but like
All good.
because this was such a long time ago
Yeah.
when we had
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
conversation. It just basically means like survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like who can we cut away, right? Like
Mhm.
who are the
Who
weaker ones? How can we filter
Like
them
how
out?
can we trim the fat?
Exactly.
Okay. Oh,
It
interesting.
still follows like the same terminology,
Yeah.
but it's more to do with fit, like how.
So you
fish-
think
And-
Culling Game is like a microcosm of
of
what
that.
actually
Yeah.
the JJK
Yeah.
world is gonna become?
And it's
Yeah.
gonna and that's
interesting.
kind of cool because like it's gonna expand it
Yeah.
where like you didn't even expect it to go there,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, half the people reading are kind of like, "What the hell? You like calling games all fights and shit," and they're just like they're so
What the hell?
blind.
So
Why you say
blind,
what the
bro.
hell? That's dope.
No,
It's dope.
I know.
But
I know.
it's
People are so
not
blind.
factual
They're so
because
yeah.
he's been dropping so many little lore
Oh, of course,
factors.
of course.
like he's moving the plot
or
forward.
Yeah, of course.
Kenjaku gets popped
And
into
so
like a
it's like-
page or something.
It's one of
Yeah.
those things where like even like obviously like there's the fans that are actually paying attention,
Mhm.
but then even the fans that aren't paying attention when if it
But-
gets to that ending, you're kind of just like, damn, like he was setting it up here and
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
didn't even
Yeah.
take that in.
So,
and shit.
so
Like,
the,
it's whole
the
thing.
issue with those like
you know?
people though are
Mhm.
like because Jujutsu Kaisen boomed really fast. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that were like aren't manga readers.
Yeah, that were
They
just like
just
supposed to
read
first
it
time reading.
their first time reading a manga or something,
Yeah,
and they just like
Fly past it.
flew past everything. Like they
And that
binge
happens.
read everything,
Yeah.
right? So then
Yeah, like
now
they-
they're reading weekly. They have to
Mhm.
wait for things
Yeah.
to develop, right?
Mhm,
Yeah, that's
mhm.
it.
Yeah, and it just goes to the fact that like Gigi did change his writing style, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Which was a beautiful transition.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
did another beautiful transition
Dude.
after what we've been calling part 1 of Calling
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so I don't know. It's so
Where do you guys
it's
think
so
it goes next chapter though?
I think like you said, I think it's very likely Chozo's fight gets off screen because
Yeah.
I don't see Gigi going. We're gonna
spending more
have
time.
Chozo fight, then
Mm.
immediately after we're gonna have
Yuki
Yuki
fight.
fight.
It makes
Yeah.
more sense
So-
to have Jozo get off screen,
Off
have
screen.
Yuki pull up as he's dying or just died,
Something like that, yeah.
and then have them fight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because when that barrier goes down, it goes down in Tengen and Yuki's
Yeah.
area as well, where they're talking.
I can also
And-
see, I
yeah.
can also see Yuki and Tengen just finishing up a discussion,
No.
and while they're finishing it up, just have
At the end of their discussion, Tengen says, "I wish I could talk to you for longer, but ... and then the barriers are going down.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then it's
So-
gonna be that way then. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But then also, because the barrier's down, you guys think Toto's gonna pull up?
And I don't know where he is. I have no idea where the fuck.
To be
this guy is.
honest, if Yuki's involved,
Probably.
there's a pretty big chance that like maybe that's like that'd be the nicest way to reintroduce him.
But-
yeah.
Other than
That's more of like an escape factor. If Yuki's like losing to him,
Yeah.
clap.
yeah,
No,
And then-
but he's gonna come and support her like 2v1.
as much as he can, but
yeah,
like,
because she's a special
but-
grade, right?
but
She's
think
a
about
special
how-
grade.
but like, again, it's Kenjaku, right?
But-
Like, and we
no,
like his
but-
plan's gonna go forward.
But to be fair,
so it's like,
for Yuki's like just like to be fair to Yuki, she did pull up balls out in Shibuya.
Yeah, she did,
Like she
and then he dipped.
and he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't even know how strong she really is
Yeah,
and why he
yeah.
dipped.
If you're pulling up like that, you are strong.
Yeah.
No,
No,
100%.
we know she's strong, yeah. But again, like, the game's changed now,
Of
where
course,
Kenjaku
yeah,
doesn't
of
need to.
He has like the upper hand,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? His plans laid out completely to the
No,
way
for
he
sure.
wants to. But it would be
It'd
a
be
nice
nice.
way to
Yeah,
yeah.
reintroduce him,
Yeah.
or the way that we were saying if there was like factions that end up happening with like
Yeah, yeah.
humans,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
sorcerers
later
and
And
on.
stuff.
have be one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the faction thing seems less
Less likely now.
now
Yeah.
because of this
That's true.
plan that he has,
Yeah.
right? Because now it seems like he's just like, let me just kill all humans, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's exactly
Not
the case.
not exactly like that, but it's
He-
the survival of the
it
fittest, and
feels-
humans are gonna
It
die
feels
out.
like he
It's the-
wants it to just be curse users
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the
'Cause there's-
only thing, right?
There's gonna be
Mhm.
humans that evolve and like
Exactly.
start and tap into being like sorcerers, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's kind of where like the discrepancy between what Geto wanted and what Kenjaku
Yeah.
wants is like different. Geto was like, yo, let's just kill humans.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
Geto, or Kenjaku
Kenjaku's
wants
like
to push the envelope further.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
you could see like Chozo is like that evolution, right? Because he's half
he
human,
tried it.
half-
Kind
Remember,
of,
he
yeah.
says it like
He
that.
says
He was
that,
an
yeah.
attempt, but
Yeah.
like he was a failure.
Yeah.
But like that's
Yeah.
where I can see Yuji being the case of like
Successful.
the successful
Oh,
case.
he's
Yeah,
like the
same thing.
first successful case.
Yeah.
the
And that
first
makes sense why
successful
Kenjaku
evolution
like
of
was his
humanity.
mom and everything.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because
They all
it
place
could
together.
just be another
Yeah.
experiment, right? Yuji
Oh,
could be
the
a
first-
complete
yeah, yeah.
experiment, and
Yeah.
he could be the first like
Successful case
successful case.
of this
Yeah.
Well,
evolution.
yeah,
That kind of
evolution.
reminds me of another anime.
Aizen?
No, it's just
No.
another anime
Oh.
that I've been telling you to watch for like so long.
Mob Psycho.
Like
Gundam?
in Gundam Double.
Crazy.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever
I
seen
haven't,
this. Is
I haven't.
spoilers for Gundam Double.
No, don't. Okay, let me
You
just.
gonna watch it?
Yeah.
I never mind then.
I can leave real quick and just come back.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, no,
I'll watch it.
that was a Jujutsu Kaisen chapter.
But he said he would watch One Piece if I watched Gundam Double, so I kind of have to. 50 episodes versus 1,000. Like, let me fuck him up. Let me fuck him up.
Yo, you always make such. Yo, you
Shitty
always
deals.
get the
Yeah.
best of the deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
you make these deals. I always make sure it's equal.
No, you do.
Everybody
Whatever.
else I hear you
Yeah.
make these deals with,
Yeah.
you always give them the fucked up part where they have to go
Yeah.
through 1,000 episodes or something.
Yeah, I'm putting him on greatness though.
That's facts.
Like, either way,
but still,
like,
like
it's-
you have to go through 50 while somebody else has to go through 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't make the deal. He made it.
Whoever you are, do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Anyways, I think that's
That's our manga. So
longer
yeah.
discussion.
if you guys want to drop off, peace. Like, comment, subscribe. we're gonna get into Star Wars Andor.
Yeah.
Which
Stop! Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
yo, where my podcast pals at?
I don't know.
Y'all watched the episode?
No.
No.
Man, we locked this week. Did not get
Oh
around
my
to watching the
goodness.
episode.
Yeah, I only missed one episode this week, so it's okay.
Okay. Let me bring back Rings of Power real quick. Y'all were not a part of anything for Rings of Power.
To be fair, we didn't cover that weekly. You'd bring it up like every
We
once in a
should
while.
no. We should. I wanted to cover. You know what? Whatever. Just whatever. I don't even
All
get
right.
into it.
Anyways, going
I
into
didn't get into
Andor,
it.
What a great chat episode.
Yeah.
Amazing, dude.
bro.
So-
Visually, I'm just
So
kidding.
no, visually too. They have this moment where
But
like
he just saying shit.
So, no, I know he was joking,
Yeah.
but then I like
Okay.
so visually they have the moment where like Andor is being moved onto a ship,
Yeah.
and that ship flies off into a new planet.
And
Yeah.
he's in prison now too, right?
He's in prison,
Yeah.
and that's where they're taking him. They're taking him to a prison, and it's in the middle of this ocean, like sort of planet
Mhm.
or something, and the prison's just like in the middle of the
In the water?
ocean, and
Is
you
it-
can see
is
the
it like that
water moving and everything.
Is that same one that Kenobi
so
went to?
beautiful.
That's sick.
I'm not 100% sure. That's
Okay,
like,
'cause that would've been-
that's what I thought about.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what planet that Obi-Wan was
Oh,
at.
that
You know
would
what
be
I'm talking about?
dope.
When he's
I know
swimming
exactly
and
what you're
shit?
talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
But I couldn't
That
remember
would
the
be dope,
planet.
actually.
But the way that this prison setup is completely different than the way that Obi-Wan's like.
No,
area
I mean
was
they
set
could
up.
be. It's still on
That
the
was-
same planet.
that was
Still on the
more
same
of a-
planet.
That was
but
more of a
so-
headquarters
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
This is a prison.
Yeah.
So when they get into the prison is set up in a way that they're actually just sent into a labor camp.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not like
Oh.
you're in a cell, right?
Yeah.
He's sent to a labor camp where he has to work on
Yeah.
these like I forgot what they call them, but like he has to work on them. Like it's like a
Yeah.
mechanical thing, right? And the way that you get through it, I'm so sad you didn't watch this episode. The floor manager of the episode is Alfred,
Oh, from the
the
Batman.
Batman.
Damn.
So the floor manager though is
Yeah.
also a prisoner,
I'll watch it right
Yeah.
after this.
and put it on right now. We'll watch it as we're podcast. No,
No.
so he's also a prisoner though.
Yeah.
But like, he's all like within 200 days left of his sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So they're about to be friends and shit.
no. They sent Andor to the last table,
Oh,
the worst table, the fifth table.
Okay.
And but the thing is, like, we know this. He's very perceptive. He has a very good memory.
Yeah.
Just off of seeing things once. So when I was watching him like watch these people make the thing that they're making,
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's about to make these guys the best table
Yeah. He's about to pick up on like shit.
shit
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
But then it flipped. Terror started going through this man's mind.
Oh shit.
The way that they were able to like
Like, show
convey
you.
it to the viewer that
Mhm.
this guy is absolutely shook,
Yeah.
and like we don't see that from Cassian
Yeah. We
throughout this whole
We haven't yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
throughout this whole season,
You make me
as
wanna
well
watch it.
as well as Rogue One.
Yeah.
We don't see that moment where he's like in complete terror and
Yeah.
he's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
He doesn't know what to
Yeah.
do.
He doesn't know what to do. But because he is who he is, he picked up on everything pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
But it goes from that terror, and then it cuts. And then it cuts into like 30 days, not 30, 30 shifts
Yeah.
that he's done
Later.
now.
Yeah.
And now he's moving. Like it's a lot more
Normal.
normal,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
oiled,
Yeah, yeah.
oiled machine.
Yeah.
And he's doing things fast, and he's making his squad like the best squad on that floor,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And what was interesting though is like the way that they have the prison set up is like it's just run by prisoners. Other than like the wardens and stuff.
That's kind of dope though.
Yeah.
The wardens just like they're just the Overwatch.
That's kind of how
Yeah.
like Prison Break did it for season 3, but
Uh-huh.
and like it's like
Cause
they
the
they
floor
make
managers,
they make their own little governance thing, and even
Mhm.
like Baki does it a little bit
uh-huh.
in like one of their newer seasons,
Yeah.
where it's like and like I really fuck with that though, because it's like they have their own system, and it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have somebody controlling it, and then people like vying for the power and like trying to just it's like a whole like
Because the floor
thing.
manager, he doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like his work is just being a supervisor, watching
Yeah.
everybody, making sure that they're working. He's acting as if like he
Yeah.
was a guard, right? Like you know,
Yeah.
how typically we see
Mhm.
the guards are like very abusive and aggressive.
Yeah, it's
he's
to-
essentially in that same sort of like
yeah.
pocket of the way he's acting.
Mm.
And then also the thing that they did really nice was something that I wasn't expecting from Disney to show like fascism
Yeah.
Oh.
In such a
In-
different way.
But it was more in like a real world sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with like the
exactly.
police
we-
and everything like
That's
that.
true.
Like
True.
going to
True.
prison and how they treat people.
Exactly.
Like they did such a good job of that. And I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that from Disney.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm so confused. How are they doing
So good.
Andor
So good.
well?
Yeah.
But then with such a great character, Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with Hayden coming back, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
crazy.
bruh, like you had these guys, you had it ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
why was the writing not there?
Exactly.
Right.
And then we kind of cut back, so we get every plot line that we've been following so far. We get all of them in this episode, which is
Okay, don't even.
so beautifully done. No, I'm telling you, you're a bitch. We go back to the blonde haired chick.
Can you just tell him?
No,
Can
shut
I
up.
can I just
No,
run
sit
away?
down. The blonde haired chick
Yeah.
that like is
The one
part of
that's
the Imperial, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the security people. And they also talk about the guy that was in the beginning of the first season, the one that messed up, the
First
officer.
season, first episode.
First episode, the
Yeah.
officer, like the
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
he's working like a
Because he's in a desk job.
now,
Yeah.
But because he's a part of the Empire in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's able to get information. But it's very limited.
Yeah.
And every day he's been like trying to search for Cassian through their system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it comes up as a ping for her. She brings him in to interrogate.
And
him.
now she's gonna. Yo, that's actually cool.
So
Yeah.
she's talking to him and he's like, so remember the old guy that was like the seeing over the, like their
Yeah.
sector
Yeah.
that she took over for
Yeah.
now.
The black guy.
The black guy, yeah.
Yeah.
She was like,
We had
uh,
mentioned that Cassian's not in their system too.
so
Yeah.
they're trying to find him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's talking to him. He's like, I actually never got to read the report. And she's
Yeah.
like, your signature's on it. He's like, I was forced to like sign
Sign
it.
off on it.
So she makes him read it.
Yeah.
And she essentially gets no information out of him
Yeah.
though, because he can't remember. Like, because they're trying to find Luthen, right? That's who they want now. They're trying to find
Yeah.
Luthen. So they get no information out of him.
Yeah.
And like that goes like whatever. But then she goes to the planet, Cassian's planet, where his mom is, where Vix
Oh.
is, and the other guy.
Yeah. No.
So something that was happening. Something that was happening. Something that was happening on that planet, though.
Yeah.
We find out that Cassian's mom is essentially dying at this point.
Okay. We expected that.
We expected it,
Last
Oh,
like we
no.
talked about.
but they're
last
trying
time.
to find Cassian because they want him to come back.
Yeah.
and they can't even. They're not
They
gonna
can't
be able
reach
to.
him, so she tries to reach out to Luthen.
Whoever he can, and they don't even know where he is.
Because
Yeah.
remember she has a way to reach out to Luthen.
Yeah.
But then because Luthen's trying to get rid of Cassian,
Yeah.
he cut the transmission,
Yeah.
so he doesn't even want to talk to her, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
And at the
it's
same
working
time,
perfectly.
At the same time, who else is on planet? That other blonde girl and the brown girl.
Oh yeah, the
They're
one from like
there.
their resistance group.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying
Yeah.
to find information on Cassian, so they're on planet too.
Damn.
So
Damn, bro.
what ends up happening is that blonde chick's on planet. She remember they made the hotel into like the Empire's like
Yeah.
headquarter on that planet.
Yeah.
She brings in the guy from the scrapyard where she goes to do the transmission.
Yeah.
Trying to interrogate him, they beat him up. Now they bring in Vix.
Yo, he's already. Yo, she's gonna be fucking like.
She's about to get her.
She's like, wait, is she gonna throw him under the table? Because it seemed like she's like,
No,
yo,
she
get the
doesn't-
fuck out of here.
The thing is, they don't know anything about Luthen or Cassian.
Yeah.
But she's the one who's been doing dealings with Luthen.
All she can say is, "This is where I used to do my transmission." Remember,
But
she even,
the
even
way,
when Cassian asks
left,
her,
the way she left
No,
off
but
with
the way that
Cassian was kind of like,
Cassian-
yo, like, yeah, we were friends, but like respectfully, like, leave.
yeah,
Mhm.
But so at the same time, like, if people come questioning, like, she's gonna be like, she's gonna give him a little bit.
Mhm.
no, because the thing is, she doesn't know where Cassian went. Cassian just left.
Yeah.
The other thing about Luthen, she doesn't know anything about Luthen.
Yeah,
Cassian
but
already asked.
I'm saying it in the way that like she'll give him like whatever she can, because like
He
she
said
doesn't
he-
want to die.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told him he was gonna leave planet, and he left.
Yeah.
That's all I can give you.
No,
dog.
literally.
So now just kick my ass.
No.
Essentially.
Was she throwing under the bus, bro? Right?
I mean, like as much as she can, like she'd be like, yo, like I know, because she knew his roots, like the planet that he's from.
I guess, but
So that's something that she can reveal.
but that's not gonna give them any.
I mean, nothing tangible, but
it's gonna be the
it's
same thing like what the guy said when you watch the episode. The guy's like, "Yeah, Luthen was wearing a cloak," and she's like,
No, for real.
"Motherfucker, you're useless. Get out." Literally.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
yeah, I mean that was kind of
The whole episode.
quickly generalized it
No, it's
because
good.
obviously I still want you guys to watch
Yeah, yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But what a episode, bro! For one, they gave us every
And I
single.
think
I didn't even talk about it.
I think that's the halfway point too, right?
Mon Mothma, the girl, the senator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trying to get votes now.
Yeah.
And so again, they have like a little party at their house.
Yeah. Is she talking to that guy?
She talks to that one
time?
guy, and she's trying to get the funds still.
Yeah.
But he's saying that like they've like put so many people like the banks are getting too tight or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't really help her. But then what I thought was interesting was midway through the party, she goes to her husband and she's like, "Yo, do you know where he is?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "It seems like he had to leave early." Or he says
Yeah.
it in like a way that he had to leave early.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, what are the chances
He's
that he
sneaking
just
it
got
out.
fucked? That he just got
Yeah.
that the husband did something.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
And the other thing that they note, so like I was wondering this whole time. I was like, why is she married to this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's such a scumbag.
Power move though.
It's a tradition in their planet. So this is kind of interesting. When they got married at the age of 15.
Yeah.
They moved to Coruscant at the age of 16.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting to add culture and like tradition to like
Yeah.
with their
Yeah,
planet
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense to why she's with him, and now she can't break up
She's,
with
like,
him because
forced
she's a
into it.
senator.
It's like
Yeah.
an arranged marriage
So if she
thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
but she's also
Looks-
a senator now.
yeah,
so
it
if she
looks
breaks
bad.
up, it looks bad, and she needs votes right now.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Another layer.
Another layer to this. Yeah.
Should have watched it.
Should have watched it. Should have watched Chainsaw Man. Yeah. I mean that kind of covers most of everything for this week.
This week, yeah.
We had a few people lacking, but
Few people.
Few
Yeah.
people.
It was a busy week. All I can say. It was a busy week.
Shooting this
but
podcast alone
at
today.
least
What
you got
happened?
But if you guys stayed for the end of this discussion,
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
you guys
guys.
for watching. Thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
thank you
man.
so much.
It means quite a lot.
subscribe, follow us on Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah.
Spot-
Twitter is at Sane Society.
Yep.
We're on all audio only like podcast platforms like
Yep.
Spotify, Apple.
And definitely send us your theories and stuff. Whatever you
Yeah,
guys want us to
for
touch
sure.
up on it,
For
discuss.
sure. Yeah.
We are now on YouTube, so there's
We'll-
a comment section
Yeah,
below.
we'll definitely anything.
Go in there, type comment, type
Yeah.
what you thought
Whatever
about.
you
If we
wanna
had
do,
a theory,
Anything worthwhile.
you heard it here first type of stuff.
Yeah.
Something you want us to
Mhm.
go deeper into, because
Yeah, if you guys have feedback too, we'd love the feedback. We are obviously trying to grow. This is
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that we like doing. So
Yeah. 100%. We have shorts as well. Check out our shorts.
yeah,
YouTube shorts.
yeah,
No,
TikTok
man.
coming soon.
TikTok.
all right.
Yeah, man. Thanks you guys for watching. Peace.